আমরা প্রথমে উদ্বোধনী সঙ্গীতের মধ্য দিয়ে আজকে পথচলা শুরু করব। সকলে কমেন্ট দিয়ে আজকে বিশ্ববাসী তোমার নামে উজ্জ্বল পালন করি। রক্ষা তোমার অসীম কবি দার্শনিক বড়, শিবার মাঝে অসীম তুমি আপন জগন্নাথ করো। রবীন্দ্রনাথ রবীন্দ্রনাথ জ্ঞানের আশীষ দিয়ে বাংলা ভারত বিশ্ববাসী সবার প্রণাম। কবিগুরুকে প্রণাম জানিয়ে সঞ্চিত হলো আমাদের আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠান, ওয়ান ডে ন্যাশনাল সেমিনার on reforms in new higher education system as per new education policy. থেকে আগত রিসার্চ পার্সন যারা রয়েছেন আমাদের প্রণম্য ব্যক্তিত্ব, আমরা প্রথমে ওনাদেরকে বরণ করে নেব আমাদের শ্রদ্ধায় কৃতজ্ঞতায়। প্রথমে আমরা বরণ করে নিচ্ছি ডক্টর দেবব্রত মিত্র মহাশয়কে, ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর দক্ষিণ দিনাজপুর প্রফেসর ডক্টর দেবব্রত মিত্র। আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানে কিনোট স্পিকার তিনি একটু জোরে হাতালি তাদের জন্য। মঙ্গল তিলক পুষ্পদীয় পুষ্পস্তবক মেমেন্টো এবং আমাদের ছোট্ট উপহার এর জন্য এরপরে আমরা বরণ করে দেব রিসোর্স পার্সন হিসেবে উপস্থিত আছেন ডক্টর শরিতা দীক্ষিত, রেজিস্ট্রার মহাত্মা গান্ধী ইউনিভার্সিটি লেখাটা। এখন জোরে হাত তালি ম্যাডাম। অতিথি দেবতা সেই সম্মানীয় অতিথি যাদের বক্তব্যের মধ্য দিয়ে আজ আমরা সমৃদ্ধ হব, অনেক নতুন বিষয় সম্পর্কে আমরা আজকে অবগত হব। ডক্টর শরিতা দীক্ষিত ম্যাডামকে আমরা বরণ করে নিচ্ছি। উপস্থিত আছেন প্রফেসর ডক্টর দীপক কুমার রায় মহাশয়, ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর রায়গঞ্জ ইউনিভার্সিটি। প্রফেসর ডক্টর দীপক কুমার রায়, ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর রায়গঞ্জ ইউনিভার্সিটি। উপস্থিত আছেন প্রফেসর ডক্টর সুমন্ত চট্টোপাধ্যায় মহাশয়, ফরমার প্রিন্সিপাল গভর্নমেন্ট টিচার্স ট্রেনিং কলেজ মালদা। প্রফেসর ডক্টর সুমন্ত চট্টোপাধ্যায় মহাশয়কে আমরা এবারে বরণ করে নেব। এরপরে উপস্থিত আছেন প্রফেসর শক্তিপদ পাত্র মহাশয়, এক্স প্রিন্সিপাল মালদা গভর্নমেন্ট টিচার্স ট্রেনিং কলেজ। এবারে আমরা বরণ করে নেব প্রফেসর শক্তিপদ পাত্র মহাশয়, এক্স প্রিন্সিপাল মালদা গভর্নমেন্ট টিচার্স ট্রেনিং কলেজ। উপস্থিত আছেন ডক্টর বিক্রমজিৎ সিং, অ্যাসোসিয়েট প্রফেসর সেন্ট জেভিয়ার্স কলেজ অফ এডুকেশন পাটনা। উপস্থিত আছেন রিসোর্স পার্সন হিসেবে ডক্টর বিক্রমজিৎ সিং, একটু জোরে হাত তালিও, অ্যাসোসিয়েট প্রফেসর সেন্ট জেভিয়ার্স কলেজ অফ এডুকেশন পাটনা। এবং তিনি এই কলেজেরই অধ্যাপক ছিলেন। একটা সময় অনেকটা দিন তিনি কাটিয়েছেন এখানে। স্মৃতির আলপথ ধরে হয়তো অনেক স্মৃতি আজকে উঠে আসবে স্যারের কথায়। স্যারকে আবার আমরা পেয়েছি, অনেক অনেক শ্রদ্ধা কৃতজ্ঞতা। উপস্থিত আছেন কি পার্সন, কি রিসোর্স পার্সন হিসেবে ডক্টর আশিস কুমার রায়, আশিস কুমার দাস, ফরমার প্রিন্সিপাল বালুরঘাট কলেজ। ডক্টর আশিস কুমার দাস, প্রফেসর ফরমার প্রিন্সিপাল বালুরঘাট কলেজ। এবারে প্রজ্বালিত হবে মঙ্গল দ্বীপ। আমি সকলকেই অনুরোধ করবো যারা সম্মানীয় অতিথি রয়েছে এগিয়ে এসে এই প্রদীপ প্রচারণে অংশগ্রহণ করার জন্য প্রিন্সিপাল, প্রেসিডেন্ট এবং রয়েছেন মিস্টার হরিপদ সাহা মহাশয়, সকলকেই বলবো একটু এগিয়ে আসবার জন্য অনুরোধ করবো। হচ্ছে মঙ্গল দীপ জ্যোতি পরম জ্যোতি দীপক জ্যোতি জানার শুভম করতু কল্যাণং আরোগ্যং শুভ সম্পদ দেশ বুদ্ধি বিনাশান আত্মজ্যোতি নমস্তুতে আত্মজ্যোতি প্রদীপ্তায় ব্রহ্মজ্যোতি নমস্তুতে জ্যোতি প্রবল জ্যোতি দীপ জ্যোতি স্বয়ং জনার্দন। এই দিব্য জ্যোতি আমাদের পাপ সম্পত্তি প্রদান পূর্বক আমাদেরকে মঙ্গল দিন। আমরা সত্যিকারের সৌভাগ্যবান যে আজকে এই সেমিনার বিদগ্ধ ব্যক্তিত্বের অধিকারী যারা আমাদের সম্মানীয় রিসোর্স পার্সন তারা উপস্থিত হয়েছেন আমাদের ডাকে সাড়া দিয়ে আমরা প্রথমেই তাদের আন্তরিক কৃতজ্ঞতা, অভিনন্দন এবং ধন্যবাদ জানাই। এবারে আমি মঞ্চে ডেকে নিচ্ছি স্বাগত বক্তব্যের জন্য এই কলেজের প্রিন্সিপাল ডক্টর দেবী মহোদয়।
Still morning, a very good morning to one and all. Most revered dignitaries, widely recognized academic personalities and academic administrators, resource persons and researchers, scholars and experts, professors and visionaries, students, participants, journalists, and guests are cordially welcome to this one-day national seminar on reforms in higher education system as per NEP-2020, organized by Balurghat B.Ed College, a postgraduate college of teacher education that undertook its journey in the year since 2004 to reach the destination of real quality teacher education for prospective teachers of the society under the visionary and able leadership Dr. Kumar Das, who is himself an academic administrator endowed with rare and exceptional innovative efficiency. It fills my heart and mind with hearts to express joy and pride to become a momentary part of this constellation of men with immeasurable knowledge and depthless erudition under a single roof. Balurghat B.Ed College has become a name in West Bengal and achieved nationwide recognition as an excellent institution of teaching Professor Dr. Vice Chancellor, Dakhindinajpur University, Dr. Sarita Deshivnan, Registrar, Mahatma Gandhi University, Meghalaya. Thank you, ma'am. Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar Roy, Vice Chancellor, Raidan University. Professor Dr. Sumanta Chetratsa, former Principal, Government Teachers Training College, Malda. Professor Shaktipada Patrasa, ex-Principal, Malda Government Teachers Training College. Dr. Vikramjit Singh, Associate Professor, St. Xavier's College of Education, Patna. Also, Dr. Ashish Kumar Das, former Principal of Balurghat B.Ed College. Balurghat College, Balurghat B.Ed College. Well, it's all the same because he has been associated as a member of governing body of Balurghat B.Ed College, so he is a soul of Balurghat B.Ed College as well. I welcome all the faculty members and support staff of the college, scholars, students and participants to the seminar, and I thank all the members of the governing body of the college to make this seminar highly meaningful. Thank you all, namaskar and Jai Hind.
আমরা শুনছিলাম আমাদের ওয়েলকাম স্পিচ বা স্বাগত বক্তব্যের মধ্য দিয়ে আমাদের প্রিন্সিপাল ববি মাহমুদ তিনি বিষয়টি বলেছেন যে আজকে কোন বিষয়ের উপর আলোচনা সেটা আমরা ইতিমধ্যেই যদিও জানি, এবং আমাদের এই কলেজে যেসব গৌরবময় ইতিহাস রয়েছে সেই বিষয়ে তিনি আলোকপাত করেছেন। এবারে আমি অনুরোধ করব আমাদের আজকে এই সেমিনারের কিনোট স্পিকার ডক্টর দেবব্রত মিত্র মহাশয়কে ওনার মূল্যবান বক্তব্যের জন্য।
Dr. Sarita Dixit, Registrar, Mahatma Gandhi University, Meghalaya. Professor Sumanta Chetratsa, the former Principal, Government College, Government Teachers Training College, Malda. Professor Shaktipada Patra, former Principal, Malda Government Teachers Training College. Dr. Vikramjit Singh, the Associate Professor of St. Xavier's College of Education, Patna, and the former faculty of this Balurghat B.Ed College. The President of the Balurghat B.Ed College is known as the Borda of Balurghat, that is Navakumar Das. Dr. Navakumar Das, the Principal of this college, Dr. Bobby Mohanto, and one of the most pioneer of this college, Mr. Haripondo Shah, the former Chairman of the Board of Administrators of Balurghat Municipality, and Dr. Ashish Kumar Das, the former Principal of Balurghat College, Balurghat. Really very good morning, as I have told to everyone, but I was not that much prepared to deliver keynote address, because delivering keynote address on this topic, that is the reforms in higher education system as per NEP-2020, this is a very vibrant topic nowadays, and we have been discussing all over the country, I think since last couple of years, since last 3-4 years, in different platforms, starting from our COVID era, and till date we have been discussing with this implementation of the NEP-2020. At the outset, I like to congratulate and thanks to the authorities of Balurghat B.Ed College, that I think that this is the only college in Balurghat which has been organizing this sort of academic program throughout the year. I joined here as a Vice Chancellor in the last July 2023, and 1 year is going to be completed soon. I don't know how long I will be here, but my tenure in Balurghat as a Vice Chancellor of Dakhindinajpur University, a newly formed state university of this state, which was born in 2018. But really its function was started from 2021 March with the first Vice Chancellor, and second Vice Chancellor who joined here in 2023. And I really congratulate these Balurghat B.Ed College authorities for organizing this sort of national seminar and inviting the resource person almost all over the country from the different states to make it a truly national seminar. Really, it is a very difficult task, but really it actually it demands a big applause from everyone. And this Balurghat B.Ed College, I know that it has got a long history. Whenever it got started in the year of 2002 or 3, from 22 years of its journey and shifting its affiliation from one university to another university, starting from North Bengal University, then shifted to Balurghat University, and now there is University, that all the B.Ed colleges are under that university. Actually, Professor Soma Bandyopadhyay, she was supposed to come here, and I talked to her in the day before yesterday evening, and she told me that as she got highly ill during last 3-4 days, so she will not be able to come. But she assured me that she would deliver at least virtual deliberations. But I don't know that, I think that her health might be not so well. That's why she couldn't able to perform whatever the assignments were assigned to her. But in her absence, I have been given this opportunity. Before coming here as a Vice Chancellor, I served there about, still I am there as a professor in the Department of Commerce, North Bengal University, possibly since last 29 years. And meanwhile, I served 2 years as a Dean of School of Professional Studies of Sikkim Central University, and started my career as a lecturer in Darjeeling Government College in West Bengal Education Service in 1993. But whatever the education policy, what our country we have been following since our independence, we cannot say that all the policies that were being adopted by our country and the process which we have followed since last 70 years of our independence, totally faulty. I do not believe in this phenomenon. There are definitely some good things were there, some bad things were there, some brighter aspects were there, and some darker aspects of it was also there. Actually, we followed the policy which were being followed mostly in our colonial regime, and we followed the Macaulay policies of education. And after independence, we changed something, and actually I can recollect that Kothari Commission is the main backbone of our educational policy, which were adopted by our government, our central government in 1960s, in the mid of 1960s. And after that one, we have changed our policy. The government of India changed our policy to some extent. But we almost followed the main policy which were adopted in 1960. There were a lot of commissions, specifically the Radhakrishnan Commission, we can say. And that commission actually, they set up the guidelines for our country so far as primary education, secondary education and higher education was concerned. But after this change of government, just 10 years back, in 2014, our central government thought in a different way. And whatever the policy which were being adopted after our independence, they thought to change it totally, more or less totally, whatever I can say. So for that one, they formed a committee under the chairmanship, as it is known to everyone, that under the chairmanship of a great Indian scientist. He was the chairman of ISRO, Professor Kasturi Rangan. He is a great scientist. He came to North Bengal University in 2006 to deliver the convocational address as a guest of honor. So at that time he was the chairman of ISRO, and really a man with knowledge, wisdom, and a huge practical experience. So he headed the committee, and there were so many other members were there, like Professor Sridharan from Bangalore, and other members were there. I cannot recollect all of their names. So after a very thorough study for near about 4 or 5 years, and meeting with the different stakeholders of our country, they actually submitted a draft national education policy to our government in the year of 2020. 2020, because this 2020 was a COVID period. But meanwhile, they completed the task and they submitted it to the government. And from 2020 July, I can recollect, this policy was placed in the parliament, and ultimately it was being accepted by our president, and it came into force. But till date, I can say that a lot of states in our country, they have not, till date, they have not adopted the national education policy. Whatever the states they have adopted the national education policy, the first state is the Karnataka. They adopted it. I actually visited there about 20 to 22 NEP as a NEP BRT member and 2-3 as a chairman. So I went to Karnataka also. So I went to Tumku Government College, a very profound government college nearer to Bangalore, where we have seen that they have implemented the national education policy more or less in toto, but a lot of problems were also there regarding the proper implementation of the national education policy, which they have categorically identified. But after Karnataka, there are other few Indian states, they also implemented the national education policy, at least at the higher education level. So far at the school level, I do not have that sort of information that whether the school level, that is the replacement of 10 plus 2 by 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, has yet been implemented or not. That is a big question. But in the, at least in the higher education level, that means in the college level, it has been to some extent implemented in some of the states of our country, which were where I can say without any hesitation, the center and state government belong to the same party. But there are certain other states which have not yet implemented the national education policy till date, and they also do not want to implement it to this national education policy, because they have also raised certain questions regarding its proper implementation and development of the proper infrastructural facilities, and they have pointed out that if this education policy is to be implemented, huge infrastructure needs to be maintained, and for which requires a huge quantum of government support. And though it has been mentioned that 10% of the government fund will be spent for our education, but actually it has not yet been, that sort of initiative has not been taken by our government. So as a result of which, what happens that lot of states till date they have not implemented this education policy, national education policy, NEP-2020. In case of West Bengal also, though we have started 4-year degree course from the previous academic session that started from July 2023, but I think that it was just, we have changed the 3-year degree course into 4-year degree course. No college, except a few colleges, where specifically except some private universities and private colleges, the governmental institutions, the governmental universities, the government state-run universities, they have not been able to implement it in a proper way. So the main juncture, so we are in the midway, that is we have started 4-year degree course, that is enough. But the transfer of credit, creation of the central credit bank, issuance of the certificate, if anyone leaves the college after 1 year, who will issue the certificate? University or the respective college. After years, there is a, if anyone leaves, then he will supposed to get diploma. After 3 years degree, and after 4 years honors with research. So these things are there. I will, though I am telling you that I was not that much prepared enough, but I will try to highlight the main aspects through a PowerPoint presentation so that it can be to some extent understandable, and you can, I am just requesting you to go through it, and there are certain aspects of this national education policy, really a good education policy which was adopted by our government, but we have to know that what are the major drawbacks for which till date our government, in central government as well as the state government, have not been able to implement it in a proper way. In case of our country, we are finding a lot of demarcations between the state universities and central universities. I, being a Vice Chancellor of State University during last 1 year, near about 1 year, huge fund crisis I have been actually facing. But in case of central universities, there are around 53 central universities of our country. They are flooded with funds, and they have almost implemented the national education policy in letter and spirit. So naturally, a lot of distinction and differentiation has come in the quality of education imparted by the central universities of our country with that of the quality of education imparted by the state universities of our country. So we will have, being an academician, because state universities number are huge. There are about 956 state universities are there all over the country, catering mostly the marginalized section, middle class and marginalized people of our population of our country. So if the distinct quality of education varies significantly and it persists for a longer period of time, definitely I can say without any hesitation, the validity, not the validity of the degree, but the question will arise that from where you have come out. So nowadays there is a tendency of the people, of the students, even the tendency of the guardians to send their kids to the institutes which have got good NIRF ranking, which have got good QS ranking. But the people who cannot send their kids to those institutes, definitely they will suffer. This sort of demarcation of line we didn't see whenever we were the students in the last 80s or first part of the 90s of the last century. Nowadays we have started to face this sort of problem. From where, which institute you have come? If you say that I have come from IIT Delhi, IIT Mumbai, your degrees, credentials will be much more higher than that of the credentials if you have a degree from, don't take it otherwise, from any state university of our state, except Jalapur, Calcutta or something like that. So we have started to face this sort of problem. Our students have started to face this sort of problem. So these sort of things will be deeply thought by the academicians, and it is to be to some extent mitigated, and how it can be mitigated. So that's why this seminar, I think, will be able to show a new light, that how our higher education system, the reforms in the higher education system should be done, so that our students can compete in the future, because it is an era of competition. We cannot prevent globalization, we cannot prevent liberalization, both in the economy as well as in the education. So now what are the key changes in the higher education system? Now actually you start from the beginning. Now next. I'm just next follow. Now, introduction of national education policy. You know that national education policy is the 21st century's first education policy in our country. As you know, everyone, that it is the first education policy in the 21st century, and the national education policy is India's third education policy, following the national education policy of 1968 and ultimately which was to some extent amended in 1992. Now in 2017, 2017 সালে the Ministry of Human Resources Development, they appointed a committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Kasturi Rangan, a former the chairman of ISRO of our country, to frame out our national education policy in the line of our own system, because whenever this national education policy was formed, the committee was formed, there are certain preamble were there. That the preamble was such that the Indian education system, we consider that our Indian education system is far older than that of the Western education system. We do not know that how old the Indian education system were. Just we see about Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramshila. They used to impart education to the people throughout the world, where from the people come to India to take the education, to go for the higher education. But later on, due to the British rules of near about 200 years, and India lost its glory, our educational institution got destroyed, and ultimately the Britishers started the first university system in the 1857 through establishment of 3 universities in Kolkata, Madras and Bombay. So in May 2019, this committee submitted the report, and the Union Cabinet approved it in July 29, 2020. Next. Now, what are the key principles of this national education policy? The key principles, you know that everyone respect the diversity and local content, equity and inclusion, community participation, use of technology, emphasis of conceptual understanding, unique capabilities, critical thinking and creativity, and continuous review. These are the key principles of our new National Education Policy 2020. Next. Now, what are the major problems? This is the most important aspect, that what are the major problems which our national education policy actually suffers. The first one is the severely fragmented higher educational system in our country. Lack of cognitive skill development, then discipline separation, limited access to higher education, limited teacher limited teacher in the colleges and universities. Next one is inadequate career-based management. So all these things are there. Actually, these things has created, they have created a lot of hindrances in the proper implementation of the national education policy. Actually, as I have told you, that we have there are certain things were earmarked in the national education policy. Nowadays, our GER, that is gross enrollment ratio of our country, is 26.3%. But in the national education policy, it has been spelled out that categorically by 2035 we will have to achieve our GER at least 50% gross enrollment ratio. This is a major significant. Then how can we achieve this gross enrollment ratio? We will have to establish more and more colleges and universities. We will have to accommodate more people so that we can provide the opportunities to the maximum people of our country in the higher education, because we have already spelled out that our GER would be 50% by 2035. So these things things are there. There is a categorization of student-teacher ratio. That is, in place of, it is supposed to be 1:30. So in so many colleges of our state, we know that in case of one college, Islampur College, I can say without any hesitation, the student is more than 12,000. And whenever there is an examination, we went for as a visiting team member there, and we saw that there is a big pandal where the students are actually appearing for the examination. And the number of teacher is only 27. So 27 is to 12,000. Can you imagine the student-teacher ratio? And here is the national education policy. It has been categorically stated that student-teacher ratio would be 1:30, somehow 1:40, not more than that, 1:20. But if the student-teacher ratio is 1 is to near about 425, then that will not be permitted in the national area, for which we require recruitment of huge number of students, huge number of teachers, huge number of faculty, huge infrastructure, number of classrooms have to be increased, and so that the student-teacher ratio can be decreased to some extent as per the national education policy. There is another thing in the higher education system. It has been stated that students should be given the free choice. So I saw one student, if he opts physics with music, that should also be offered to the student, because he may like music. If a person studies chemistry, it should not be obligatory on him or her to study mathematics and chemistry. But in case of our traditional system, it is compulsory, it is mandatory that if you want to take chemistry honors, if you want to take physics honors, then other past subjects would be chemistry and mathematics. But here in this national education policy, it has given an option to the student that yes, you can take physics, but you can opt for music if you like music. Even if you like to have some knowledge of accountancy, you can even go for commerce also. But adjustment in the routine, it is a practical problem, that how to adjust in the routine, because you will have to start class finish everything within 6 hours, starting from 11 to 5, with a break of at least half an hour. How to adjust in the routine if a student opts for so many subjects of the different streams at a particular point of time. So this accommodation is really a big challenge in the proper implementation of the national education policy. These things will have to be sorted out. Now the question, another thing is there. This is from my practical experience. I am just wanting to share with you one experience that there are two government colleges. I went for a NEP visit in Tumakuru. There is one student, he has opted for history, physics, and unique combination. Physics, history, music. Physics and history is available in Tumakuru. Now music is not available. Now from Tumakuru to Magadi, that is a 40-kilometer distance, there is another government college. Now he has opted for music in Magadi government college. So the teachers are saying, the students have said that here the transportation facilities are not so good. So sometimes it may not be possible for us, though it has been managed in the routine, to go to that 40 kilometers travel and go attending the classes of music. So in the national education policy, it has been categorically stated that the colleges which do not have the adequate infrastructure, which cannot provide the adequate subject as per their desirability, you can tag up with the other nearby colleges. It may be possible in the metropolitan areas, but it may not be possible, it will not be possible for the rural India where more than 70% of the population resides. So this is also another challenge in front of the proper implementation of the national education policy in the higher education system. Next point is this, that he thinks that yes, I am going out, I will do my job, and after 3 years I will come back and again I will join somewhere else. Then at that time his credit bank is to be created and that is to be known to that particular fellow. It will be a digital credit bank, not the manual credit bank. So afterward, whenever a person passes after 1 year, then question arises, who will issue the certificate? So whether the certificate can be issued by the college, and somebody is saying that no, the certificate can be issued by the college. That has not been clear-cut mentioned in our national education policy. They have stated that yes, certificate will be issued, but who will issue the certificate? Whether the affiliated university or the college? Because it has been stated in the national education policy that by 2035, all colleges that they will be dealing, supposed to be dealing from the university, and they will be the certificate issuance authority. Now the question arises that what will be the stake of the university at that particular, what will be the role of the university at that particular point of time, 2035, where Professor Mitra might not be there, but other people will be there. This is also a very good question. This is also a big question which I raised in different forums, but not proper answer has yet been received. Next, 3-year degree, if anyone passes after 3 years, then definitely the degree certificate will be issued by the university, so long as the college it has not been totally autonomous and can have the power of certificate degree issuance authority. So definitely, and in the fourth year, what would be the course design? That is also a big question. In case of West Bengal, most of the universities have not yet designed the course curricula which will be taught in the fourth year, because it will be research oriented. It will be stated in the national education policy that if a student gets, after passing honors with research 7.5 score, then he and she will be exempted from passing the MA, and MA, MSc, MCom will be for 1 year only, and the student who will score 7.5 CGPA score, they can directly go for research. This is also an anomaly, and UGC has recently issued a certificate, a notification. Manish is now the UGC secretary. He was a professor of computer science in Jalgaon, that is the Aurangabad University. Now he is the secretary of University Grants Commission. I met with him in a seminar in Odisha recently. So I asked him this question. He said that yes, we have issued the notification under his signature. Yes, even after passing the 4 year with research degree, the student can directly go for appearing in the NET examination. And UGC is trying to take a total control of the situation, because recently a circular has been issued that rate examination will no longer be allowed further. It will be totally centralized and controlled, and according to the marks, the persons will be given the different category of placement. So these things are there, lot of problems are there, lot of anomalies are there. But besides these things, one good thing of the national education policy is that national education policy has provided a lot of flexibility to the students, which flexibility they didn't have in our present system of education. They can go for different aspects, but the critics who criticize it, their argument is something different. They say that if a person wants to study physics in a better way, he should have a in-depth knowledge about mathematics. Otherwise, understanding of physics will not be a proper one. So, implementation of the NEP, we cannot say that any policy which is totally bad, any policy which is absolutely fine, after implementation of it, and after running it or continuing it for at least 10 years, we can say that whether the national education policy which were adopted by our government, whether it is it provides the right direction to our people or not. So this is the challenge. And one thing is this, that our country, whatever the best things of the national education policy, that it has been written that we want to increase our GER, that is gross enrollment ratio, up to 50%. Funding the research funding is huge. If anyone goes for doing the research, that has been stated. And we apprehend one thing, and this is my apprehension, that it has stated that if a college has got a student strength of less than 3,000, then that college either be liquidated or it should be merged with a nearby college. So in case of our state, our country, a lot of colleges do not have the student strength of 3,000. So as a result of which, if it is strictly adhered to, the number of colleges, number of universities will certainly go down in the days to come, and definitely that will not be a very good phenomena for the marginalized rural people of our country. But despite of all these things, this policy has been adopted by most of the governments, state government, and almost in all central universities it has been adopted. So far as the B.Ed education is concerned, this national education policy has provided a lot of emphasis, because as I have told you, that is reforms in the secondary level, that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, that is also a big challenge in front of our government. And for proper implementation of the school system, starting from Anganwadi to class 12, it requires huge number of trained teachers, and for which the B.Ed courses have been changed, the B.Ed modules have been changed, and so that it can fit the requirements, it can change the requirements, it can fit with the requirements of our young generation. I think that in this juncture, the National Education Policy 2020, the B.Ed colleges will also have to play a bigger role, and I hope that the Balurghat B.Ed college, under the auspices of a very efficient leadership, will be able to cope up with this situation in a befitting manner. And this seminar, whatever has been arranged by them, will be a very fruitful one. The other resource persons are there on the dais, and I also invite the students, if they have any questions, any queries and doubts, they can ask the questions freely. And I again congratulate the authorities of the Balurghat B.Ed College for organizing this sort of seminar at this crucial juncture, and I hope that this seminar will be a very fruitful one for the students and teachers of this region. Thank you so much.
Professor Dr. মহাশয়কে, ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর দক্ষিণ দিনাজপুর ইউনিভার্সিটি। আমরা শুনছিলাম স্যারের কাছ থেকে এক সমৃদ্ধ বক্তব্য, এবং বিভিন্ন বিষয় নিয়ে তিনি খুব বিশদভাবে বললেন। আমাদের 5+3+3+4 যে স্ট্রাকচার রয়েছে সেই বিষয়েও তিনি বলেছেন। স্যারকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ, কৃতজ্ঞতা। একবার জোরে হাততালি চেয়ে নিচ্ছি স্যারের জন্য। এরপরে আমরা ডেকে নিচ্ছি আমাদের মাঝে উপস্থিত প্রফেসর শক্তিপদ পাত্র মহাশয়কে, এক্স প্রিন্সিপাল, মালদা গভর্নমেন্ট টিচার্স ট্রেনিং কলেজ।
There has been a change in the program. What was there in the printed program, there has been a change. I don't know why. We have already been introduced to all the main points of the education policy. There are so many distinguished fellows on the dais, and there are other people who are very much knowledgeable in this respect right now. Whenever you listen to me, you will find that there is so many repetitions of the same thing that you have heard so long. Because I cannot go beyond the main points. And the criticisms you have also got from the keynote speaker. I'm not going to mention all the people here on the dais because you know all of them. I should say again good morning because people and in the Western countries, so long as they don't have their lunch, this is good morning. Good morning to all honorable persons on the dais and all the people belonging to the discipline of education. I'm here again. This college, Balurghat College of Education, has come a long way since its inception or start. This seminar has been organized by the institute and it speaks volumes of their interest in education. The subject of discussion today is really very significant and relevant. That's reforms in the new higher education system in India as per new education policy 2020. You all know that higher education is a demanding baby, and all of us have to realize what the budget is, the power of higher education. Fortunately, most of us here are aware of the fact that even though India has become the fifth largest economy in the world and is rapidly moving towards becoming the fourth largest, there are not enough options and opportunities available in the country to get quality higher education. Since independence, many reforms have been made in the field of education, leading to significant improvements in employment, research, and literacy rates. The government of India came forward from time to time with new national education policy to promote education amongst the people of the country. The first national policy of education was promoted by Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1968, and then the second one promulgated by the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1986, and the third one, this new policy has been introduced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2020. The new education policy that we are going to discuss today has been introduced with a view to formalizing changes in the system from school level to college and university level. I already told you that there will be so many repetitions and you will lose your attention span as you listen to all the remaining speakers. Naturally, this policy visualizes and envisions complete overhaul or change and re-energizing of the higher education system. Why? Just to deliver quality higher education that we expect from this higher education policy. The object is to develop thoughtful, well-rounded and creative individuals. The policy is going to play a big role in setting the course for educated reforms. It addresses the shortcomings of the current education system. You see, what do we mean by shortcomings? The deficiency. The students are expected to prepare for the modern world's complexity. Some of the important dimensions of the change in education
Indian education system are expansion. বড় করতে হবে এখনো ঠিক মতো অনেকের কাছে পৌঁছায়নি, that is expansion. The second one is accessibility, ease or access, and in entry, so that so many students can get access to this higher education. Affordability, whether they are able to pay for it, টাকা খরচ করতে পারবে তো, there is affordability. The policymakers have taken into consideration a paradigm shift. What is that? Fundamental changes in the approach. Paradigm shift. In the last few decades, with the influence of several key players and factors. Some of them are, number one, increased demand for higher education. Number two, limited and diminishing higher education, along with expansion and excellence. So good, committing a lot of things. The role of government, the spiraling economic and fiscal stress on higher education. What is fiscal? That is related to government revenue, spiraling fiscal stress, growing international competition from foreign universities, increased levels of aspiration from working adults for higher education. কাজ করছে, চাকরি করছে, তারাও তো হায়ার এডুকেশন নিতে চায়। Need for addressing issues like access and equity in higher education, along with expansion excellence, as I told you, developing intellectual curiosity and scientific temper related to 21st century capabilities. There are so many major problems already discussed. I'm just going to refer to some of them. Rigid separation of disciplines, discrimination, rigid separation of disciplines, and early separation. অনেক ছোট বয়স থেকে বিভিন্ন ডিসিপ্লিন তাকে চুজ করতে দেওয়া হয়, সেটা সেগ্রিগেটেড হয়ে যাচ্ছে, অনেকগুলো বিষয় জানতেই পারছে না। Limited access, particularly in socio-economically disadvantaged areas. আমি একবার ইংলিশে গিয়েছিলাম গাজল কলেজে, 10 বছর ধরে কলেজটা আছে, পয়সা করি নেই, কিচ্ছু নেই, তাদের পাঁচিল নেই। আমি গিয়ে বললাম, জানেন দাদা, আমাকে এরকম বসিয়ে দিয়ে বিপদে ফেলেছে, পয়সা করি দিয়ে disadvantaged areas. They don't get opportunities, they don't get access to higher education, you know. Less emphasis on research, lack of an effective regulatory system, the system that controls in the UGC level. এরা বেশি করে সুন্দর করে 3-4 টিয়ারে করেছে। Some key changes have been suggested. Multidisciplinary colleges and universities, already criticized by the university. Multidisciplinary colleges, অনেক ডিসিপ্লিন থাকে, departments থাকে, with the medium of instruction in local or Indian languages. আমাদের আগে তো ইন্ট্রোডিউস হয়েছে, তারপরে এমনি তো বাংলায় পড়ে অনেকে, আমাদের দেশে অনার্স তো বাংলায় পড়ে, ভালো এটা, ভেরি গুড। কেন জানেন, ইংরেজি জানার লোকগুলো কেবলমাত্র পড়ে খাবে কেন? You should know the subject matter. It's very good suggestion. Faculty and institutional autonomy, self-government, the problems are being discussed. Revamping curricula, pedagogy, assessment and student support. যারা পড়ান জানি, কারিকুলার কত বাদ, এই যে পেডাগজি, বড়দের পড়াটা আমরা বলি অ্যান্ড্রাগজি, কোন সিস্টেম মানেন না দাদা এখন, যতই ট্রেনিং দেওয়া হোক ও মান্না তারা বলতে কি যা চলছে তাই চলছে। Establishing a national research foundation, that's very much important. A single regulator for higher education. Number 6, increased access, equity, inclusion. These are all catchwords we have heard several times in other national education policies. They are not new. Distance learning, open distance learning, ODL, online education. You have already come to know everything about this. Here perhaps there is a branch of ODL in this college, Indira Gandhi National Open University branch. Now comes the question of restructuring of institutions. All higher education institutions, HIEs, will be restructured into 3 categories. Everyone read this, but I think I did it a duty on my behalf to get all these things, get you introduced to all these things, and particularly those who are not at all familiar with them. Number 1, research universities focusing equality of research and teaching. Research and teaching, both will be emphasized in research university. Another category, teaching university. They focus primarily on teachers. Degree granting colleges, primarily focusing on undergraduate teaching. All such institutes will gradually move towards full autonomy. 3 types of autonomy. One is academic, the second one is administrative, the third one is financial. These 3 autonomies will be given to all the institutions. All higher education institutions, HIEs, should eventually be transformed into large multidisciplinary universities and colleges with 3,000 or more students. That is what I have been speaking of, access to higher education. By 2030, there should be 1 multidisciplinary HEI in or near every district. In every district or near every district, there will be 1. The keynote speaker already was telling you that it's very difficult. At the same time, if you don't have them, that's also not desirable. Multidisciplinary education already criticized. One of the primary objects of higher education will be to integrate humanities and arts with science and technology. একটা ইউনিভার্সিটিতে আমাকে ডেকেছিল আদি শঙ্করাচার্যের উপর বলতে, এই গণিকা ইউনিভার্সিটি। আমি বললাম কেন সায়েন্স টেকনোলজির ছোকরাদেরকে আমাকে দিয়ে আদি শঙ্করাচার্য বলাবে কেন? খুঁজে খুঁজে বার করলাম, বলানোর দরকার আছে। কেন? সায়েন্স টেকনোলজি সোসাইটিটা আউট অফ জয়েন্ট উইথ দ্য সায়েন্স। আমরা সম্পূর্ণ বিজ্ঞানটা নিতে গিয়ে না একটা দিক নেগলেক্ট করছি। এরা বলছে যে আমরা দুটোকে মেলাবো, এই জন্য নাকি একটা মাল্টিডিসিপ্লিনারি অ্যাপ্রোচ দরকার। ইট উইল বি ওয়ান ডে ইন্টারডিসিপ্লিনারি অ্যাপ্রোচ, holistic approach. This multidisciplinary one, it aims to develop capacities of human beings in different aspects: intellectual, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional, and moral in an integrated manner. All these aspects will be integrated. That is called holistic education. They hope so. And how they are going to get certificate, diploma, bachelor's, degree, bachelor research degrees already discussed in the keynote speech. Academic bank of credit, that also has been criticized. And you have already come to know the problems of having this academic bank of credits. Digital it is to store academic credits digitally earned from various HIEs for awarding degrees based on credits. One can then, just suppose you switch from one college to another. A student drops out for some reasons. These credits will remain intact. If possible, then really very nice. If possible. It means that one can come back years later and pick up from where he had left, where one had left. I mean, he left for some reasons. You decide to come back years later and you start from where you have left. That's very good, idealistically very much acceptable and desirable. Now comes the regulatory structure. The regulatory structure is the torchbearer of quality assurance among higher education. This regulatory system is to ensure the flow of education. Flow of quality from one generation to the next. The educational institutions are to keep this quality, and they have to be kept quality councils and aligned to contemporary changes. As for the new education policy, the Higher Education Commission of India will set up 4 independent verticals. Upright structures, 4. Number 1, National Higher Education Regulatory Council. This will act as a single regulator, including teacher training, teacher education, and excluding legal and medical education. Just you should remember this. It includes teacher education, but excludes medical and legal education. Number 2, there will be the National Accreditation Council for accreditation of the institutions. Obviously, this accreditation is not a one-shot deal. একবার খালি হলো এদের পেয়ে গেলেন, তারপর ঘুমিয়ে পড়লেন, one-shot deal হবে না। An institution must maintain high standards or it runs the risk of jeopardizing its status. It will be a continuous regulatory system. The National Accreditation Council will play the role of helping higher education institutions to indulge in introspection. এই যে হবে না রেগুলেশনটা, এর কারণ introspection, self-analysis. এই জায়গায় আপনি আছেন, you are here now, in this level, and you should know this. You should know your strengths and weaknesses, and then you'll be able to effect corrective measures. Then the Higher Education Grants Council. This council will be there for financing of higher education institutions. There will be General Education Council. It will specify the curriculum framework. There will be disputes. Suppose there are disputes between one vertical and the other. How can these disputes be resolved? They will be resolved by a body of experts under the Higher Education Council, Higher Education Commission of India, Higher Education Commission of India. Experts will come from that. Then the question of improving research. The new education policy recommends setting up an independent national research foundation. Why? Just for funding and facilitating quality research. You know, in central government, they reduced this sort of fund for research. People engaged in science, discipline of science subjects now are very much in trouble. They require a lot of fund. Specialized institutes, they fund research, but they will be allowed to stay. These agencies are the key players to create the right atmosphere for adventure with ideas. এত সব করা হবে কেন জানেন? যাতে ইউনিভার্সিটিগুলোতে একটা পরিবেশ থাকে to have adventure with ideas. আমার কথা নয়, এটা জওহরলাল নেহরুর কথা। বিভিন্ন ধারণা নিয়ে আপনারা দুঃসাহসিক অভিযান করবেন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে। বলে আমাদের তো ইউনিভার্সিটিতে বিল্ডিং এ নেই দাদা, কোথায় কি অ্যাডভেঞ্চার হবে? ফরেন ইউনিভার্সিটি জিপ বার করে দৌড়ুন না বিদেশের ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়তে। আমি এরকম বুক খুলে বলি, আমি লন্ডন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়েছি, কোয়ালিটি বলছি। আমি হায়দ্রাবাদে গেছি না, লন্ডনের থেকে অনেক বেটার। সিরিয়াসলি বলছি, আমি আপনাদেরকে ডিক্লেয়ার করছি, আমি যা শিখেছি ইন হায়দ্রাবাদ ফার বেটার দ্যান হোয়াট আই লার্নড ইন লন্ডন ইউনিভার্সিটি। খবরদার এই ফরেন বলতে না, তকমাগুলো পাতা দেবেন না। High-performing Indian universities will be encouraged to set up campuses in other countries. Indian university can allow to set up campuses in other countries. Similarly, selected top universities, global universities will be permitted to operate in India. This is a commendable initiative. This will help the students experience the global quality of education. Sitting here in their own country, they will have the test of global education. বাড়িতে থেকে global education এর স্বাদটা নেবে। কেন বলবো? If possible, then very much appreciable. You can appreciate this. The introduction of single common entrance test is another positive step which will reduce the stress of multiple competitive examinations. We should not forget to mention that the policy makers are aware of value-based education. It's a movement for that. A value-based education, I will only to বলেছি এটা এখন লেখা আছে আমি বলছি। এসব পরে কথা। ইহা হইবে উহা হইবে এসব আদর্শবাদী কথা বলে হইলে ভালো। Now you see, you require global citizenship education. Why? Not to empower learners to become aware of global issues and to become active promoters for more peaceful, tolerant, inclusive, secure and sustainable society. কত সুন্দর কথা। সারা পৃথিবীতে শান্তি থাকে। There will be one parliament of men. There will be one party, federation of the world. All idealistic days. Impossible idea, then it will be here on earth. Now comes the most important factor. That is employability issue. It cannot be known. Various measures will be introduced to lift education from the knowing dimension to the doing dimension. খালি জানতে হবে না, করতে হবে। কাজে লাগবে এইরকম এডুকেশন দিলে there will be employability. The students will be employable. Tomorrow's employers are going to want skilled and well-qualified personnel. সব প্রাইভেটাইজ হয়ে যাবে। ও স্কিল দরকার, খালি মুখস্থ করে নম্বর পেলে হবে না। They will not want to compromise because they have to survive in a very difficult global environment of competition. কম্পিটিশনটা এখন ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলে নেই, ইন্ডিয়াতে চলে গেছে। Invisibly, a day will come when it will be global competition. Soon, the day will come. Naturally, as a part of holistic education, students will be provided with opportunities for internships with local industries, business companies, art institutions, research institutions. Internship program is a must. It is there for doctors and today for engineers. But there are so many jobs where internship is not there. Naturally, people don't have experiential knowledge. They have theoretical knowledge, but no experiential knowledge. It is also a good suggestion. The speaker, keynote speaker, already talked about teacher education. It's a teacher training college, teacher education. In respect of colleges, teacher preparation requires multidisciplinary perspectives and knowledge. Very important teacher education college. এখানেও কিন্তু multidisciplinary factor কাজ করে। Formation of dispositions and values and development of practices under the best mentors. টিচার এডুকেশন কলেজে যারা থাকবে বা টিচার এডুকেশনের সঙ্গে যুক্ত থাকবে, একটু পরে বলছি কলেজ আর ইউনিভার্সিটি, বেস্ট মেন্টাল হতে হবে, আধা জানা লোক দেওয়া হয়, দারুণ এক্সপিরিয়েন্স হতে হবে। বলে আমি কলেজ স্কুলের চাকরি পাইনি, আমি কলেজে টিচার তৈরি করবো, হয় কখনো বেস্ট মেন্টার্স। College and university teachers should be well versed in the latest advances in the education pedagogy, andragogy. The 4-year integrated B.Ed program will be there for school teachers. It's minimum degree. Each higher education institute will have a network of government and private schools where potential teachers will carry on teaching practices. It's a অদ্ভুত জিনিস দরকার জানেন, এই স্কুলগুলোতে গিয়ে ভিখারির মতো দাঁড়ান আমাদেরকে এক মাস পড়াতে দিন, হয় কখনো? ইউনিভার্সিটি কলেজ ক্যাম্পাসে স্কুল থাকবে তাদের নিজেদের, ওইখানে ওরা পড়িয়ে পড়িয়ে শিখবে, যেটা রিসিভড নলেজ এখানে ক্লাসে নিচ্ছে, ওখানে গিয়ে এক্সপেরিয়েন্সিয়াল নলেজ হবে। তারপর কি হবে? ওদের কম্পিটেন্সটা হবে কখন জানেন? দে রিসিভ সামথিং, দে এক্সপেরিয়েন্স ইট, দে উইল বি সাইকেল। হোয়াট ইজ দ্যাট? অ্যাকশন, রিফ্লেকশন। কাজ করছে, বাট এটা না হলে হয় এইরকম থাকবে। There will be in-service continuous professional development for college and university teachers. ওদের জন্য কলেজ বলে, বলছে in-service training যেমন চালাচ্ছে দেখে দেখে করে করতে পারে। মানে arrangement of ongoing initiatives. The use of technology platforms, যেমন স্বয়ং, Diksha, for online training of teachers will be encouraged. A national mission for monitoring shall be established with a large pool of outstanding senior research faculty. Just see, national mission for monitoring. কাজ করবে কারা? হচ্ছে senior retired faculty including those with ability to teach in Indian languages. সাহেব ধরে আনলে হবে না, ঠকবে কে ইংরেজি বলতে চলে যাবে। যে জায়গায় পড়াবে ওই জায়গার ভাষাটা তাকে জানতে হবে। খুব ভালো কথা। They should be willing to provide short and long-term mentoring. I mean short and long-term mentoring for professional support for university and college teachers. ইউনিভার্সিটি কলেজ টিচারদের যে ইন-সার্ভিস ট্রেনিং গুলো হয় না, এগুলো রেগুলারলি হয় না। এইগুলো যদি রেগুলারলি হয় তাহলে টিচারগুলো will not be catapulted from the classroom to the from the university to the classroom. ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পাস করলো, নেট পরীক্ষা দিলে ঝাঁপিয়ে ক্লাসে ঢুকে গেল। হ্যাঁ, এটা হবে। regular in-service training থাকে। Probably it is meant that college and university teachers cannot rest on the laurels of their academic degrees, the essential and desirable qualification ওটা নিয়ে সন্তুষ্ট থাকলে হবে না। To be competent teachers, they need professional training. We find the National Education Policy 2020 obviously the progressive document with proposals for so many changes, keeping in view the curricular, socio-economic landscape. It addresses the need to develop professionals in different fields. Its scope ranges from agriculture to what we call artificial intelligence. Agriculture তলা থেকে উপর পর্যন্ত সব আছে এখানে। The policy makers want to cater to the needs of the Indians to be ready for future. There are so many problems as the keynote speaker suggested. Employment matching qualification. Employment matching qualifications are not available. এমন কোয়ালিফিকেশন দরকার এমপ্লয়মেন্টের সঙ্গে ম্যাচ করবে, but it is difficult. Even basic facilities কোথায় কি পড়া যায় একটু বললেন না, বলে আমি একটু জায়গায় গিয়ে দেখি সেখানে একটা অন্য কলেজে পড়ানো হবে, যাবে কি করে তার ঠিক নেই। লেখাপড়া ছেলেরা করছে, বেসিক ফেসিলিটিস নাই, লাইক রোডস, ইলেকট্রিসিটি, পিওর ড্রিঙ্কিং ওয়াটার, বেসিক হেলথ সার্ভিসেস, all these are lacking. Today, there are more than 1,000 universities, 42,000 colleges across the country providing higher education, but most of them still lack adequate capital. Paisa nai, Apple College University. Skilled teachers name, infrastructure name. Currently, only 13% of students pursue higher education in our country. 13% higher education আমাদের দেশে, whereas internationally this percentage ranges from 28 to 90. একটা ছোট্ট দেশে গিয়েছিলাম, সেখানে একটা কলেজে একটা ইউনিভার্সিটি আছে, সব কটাকে বলা হয় সব ফাঁকা, আবার বলছে পয়সা লাগে না, সব ঠিক। ছোট্ট দেশ ফিনল্যান্ড একদম সবার জন্য খোলা, আমাদের দেশে বলছে কত? 13%. According to the Worldwide Education for Future Index, India was marked 33rd in the world in terms of providing quality higher education. 2020 the India's স্থান হচ্ছে 33rd, compared to the 35th in 2019. Compared to the 40th in 2018, still it is not something encouraging as ranking. No college or university from India occupies one of the top 10 positions in the world. পৃথিবীর প্রথম 10 পজিশনসে ইন্ডিয়ান একটাও ইউনিভার্সিটি কলেজ নেই। না আছে, আচ্ছা 20 হয়েছে একটা ক্যালকুলেশন, ইউএস র্যাঙ্কিং মানে অল ইন্ডিয়াতে ওয়ার্ল্ড র্যাঙ্কিংটা হচ্ছে, তাতে জেএনইউ 20 ইউনিভার্সিটির মধ্যে একটা করে র্যাঙ্কিং। In the university category, JNU is one of the top 20 universities in the world. The new education policy has a laudable vision, but its strength will depend on whether it is able to effectively integrate with the other policy initiatives. Education policy দিয়ে দিল, আর লোকের খাওয়ার ব্যবস্থা নেই, হ্যাঁ স্কুলে পড়তে যাবে মিড ডে মিলের জন্য, লেখাপড়ার কোনো ব্যবস্থা নেই, অন্যান্য পলিসিগুলো ঠিক করতে হবে। In this country we have a terrible record of social asymmetry. কার ভাষা জানেন? অমর্ত্য সেন। But India terrible record of social asymmetry. Asymmetry মানে lack of quality. কোনো রকম কারোর সঙ্গে মিল নেই। ইন্ডিয়া একটা অদ্ভুত দেশ। রিচেস্ট ম্যান আছে আর একদম পুয়ারেস্ট ম্যান দেখতে পায় না, ভূতপাতে জন্মায় আছে, এরকম দেশ নেই। Hopefully, national education policy has reassuringly provision for consultative monitoring and review framework, this will empower the education system to constantly reform itself. We need effective and time-bound implementation. খুলে দিলাম পলিসি, কবে হবে গো? Time-bound implementation দরকার. Additionally, there is a need for improvement at the grassroots level and greater investment in the field of education. টাকাটা কত দিচ্ছেন নরেন্দ্র মোদী? তারপর তো আপনি পলিসিটা চালু করবেন। হ্যাঁ, promotion, innovation, research, better employment opportunities in the country, good governance, ভালো সরকার দরকার, 2 নম্বরই দুর্নীতি নেই বাবা, good governance and making the system transparent at every level. যদি সব লেভেলে ট্রান্সপারেন্ট সিস্টেম হয় না, এমনি পড়াশোনা হয়ে যায়, কিচ্ছু লাগে না। পলিসি টলিসি বলছেন তো, আরে পলিসিটা ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করবে কে? জনপ্রতিনিধি। তাদের কাজে, তাদের পলিসি শুধু নয়, কাজটাতেও থাকবে ট্রান্সপারেন্সি। এই কথাটা পুরনো একজন শিক্ষক হিসেবে জোরদার করে বলছে এই কারণে, আমাদের সময় কিচ্ছু লাগে, খালি মাস্টার কাছে পড়াতো, আমরা পড়তাম আর শিখতাম, তাতেই হয়ে গেছে। Transparency is what is required. Thank you very much. I took a lot of time.
Indeed, NEP 2020 has emphasized the holistic development of students. Well, I thank Professor Shaktipadam Patrasa for such a wonderful deliverance. He has touched upon the NEP very specifically. Now, with due permission, may I request Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar Rai for your speech. Please, sir.
Today, one-day national seminar on reforms in new higher education system in India as per NEP 2020, organized by Balurghat B.Ed College. Respected Professor Debabrata Mitro, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dakhindinajpur University, the respected research person, Dr. Dikshit, registered from Mahatma Gandhi University, Meghalaya, the respected Professor Dr. Shumanta Chattaraj, former principal, Government Teachers Training College, Malda, the respected Professor Shaktipada Patro, former principal, Malda Government Teachers Training College, and respected Dr. Bikramjit Singh, Associate Professor at St. Xavier's College of Education, Patna, and respected Principal Dr. Mahanta, and respected President Novoda, and respected Dr. Ashish Kumar Das, and Shoripoto Shah, and other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and students, scholars. Already, Dr. Professor Mitro, Honorable Vice Chancellor, mentioned, and Patro already mentioned various aspects. সময় এখন 1টা বাজে, আমাদের 1:30 শেষ হওয়ার কথা। সেই নিরিখে সবাইকে শ্রদ্ধা নমস্কার জানিয়ে আমার বক্তব্য অত্যন্ত সংক্ষিপ্ত করবার চেষ্টা করছি, কারণ একটা শর্ট টাইমে আমাকে বেরিয়েও যেতে হবে, ইউনিভার্সিটিতে অন্য একটা কাজ আছে। We have founded 5 guidelines, the guiding pillars. Number 1, access. Number 2, equality. Number 2, quality. And next, affordability and accountability, most important part of NEP. And we know aims of the NEP to ensure universal access to quality education at all levels by promoting the use of technology, setting up more institutions, and providing equitable opportunity for all students. NEP focus various aspects. Number one, flexibility and CBCS system. The policy promotes a seamless education system with no rigid distinction between arts and commerce. Curricular and extracurricular activities, vocational and academic streams. Next, research and innovation, most important part. The policy places a strong emphasis on research and innovation in higher education. Integrated curriculum and interdisciplinary studies, most important part of the NEP 2020. This encourages universities to offer integrated courses and interdisciplinary studies, promoting a more comprehensive understanding of subjects. National Research Foundation, already mentioned Professor Patro. National Research Foundation is a key component of NEP and moving towards multidisciplinary and holistic education, institutional autonomy, promotion of quality research through establishment of National Research Foundation. On the other hand, the quality assurance, accreditation, globalization, internationalization, multidisciplinary approach, promotion of indigenous knowledge and languages, and teachers training and professional development, teachers training, technological integration. আমার যতটুকু বিশ্বাস, গোটা পশ্চিমবঙ্গে ভারতবর্ষের কথা আমি বলছি না, চালু হয়েছে। বেশিরভাগ ইউনিভার্সিটিতে NEP সিলেবাস এখনো কমপ্লিট হয়নি, আমরা কমপ্লিট করতে পারি। সমস্ত ইউনিভার্সিটিতে আমি খবর দিয়ে দেখেছি এবং NEP-র মধ্য দিয়ে যে জায়গাগুলোকে আরো বেশি ফোকাস দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করছে, আমি সেই জায়গাটি একটু বলবার চেষ্টা করব। প্রথম হচ্ছে আমাদের ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ। অলরেডি NEP নিয়ে ন্যাশনাল লেভেলে কয়েকটা ওয়ার্কশপ হয়েছে, আমি তার অ্যাটেন্ড করেছি। আমাদের ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কারিকুলাম কি হবে? এই উত্তরবঙ্গে আমরা বসবাস করছি, দিনাজপুর, মালদা, জলপাইগুড়ি, কোচবিহার ইত্যাদি জেলা মিলে উত্তরবঙ্গে 151 ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ আমি কিভাবে পিক আপ করবো? এই বালুরঘাটে যে সমস্ত মাহাতো ট্রাইবাল মানুষেরা বসবাস করেন, তাদের মাতৃভাষা কিন্তু আলাদা। এবং ইলিপি মাহাতো বলছেন যে মাহাতোরা যে কুর্মি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে কথা বলে, দ্যাট ইজ চর্যাপদের আগের ফর্ম। অলরেডি তিনি পাবলিশ করে দিয়েছেন। দিস ইজ দ্য হেরিটেজ, ইন্ডিয়ান হেরিটেজ, ইন্ডিয়ান ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ সিস্টেম। আপনারা জানেন অলরেডি ইন্ডিয়ান স্ট্র্যাটেজি অনুযায়ী কিছু ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ শিডিউল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ হিসাবে ট্যাগ হয়ে রয়েছে, বেশ কিছু ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ নন শিডিউল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, এবং আরো উল্লেখযোগ্য কয়েকটি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ক্লাসিক্যাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ। দুর্ভাগ্যবশত বাংলা এখনো ক্লাসিক্যাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ নয়। এই সিনারিওতে দাঁড়িয়ে মাদার টাং টিচিং প্রোগ্রামটা কিন্তু NEP-তে অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। ধরুন এই কলেজে যে সমস্ত ব্যানার রয়েছে, যদি NEP-কে আমি ফলো করতে যাই, প্রথমে আমাকে বাংলায় লিখতে হবে, তারপরে আমাকে দেবনাগরীতে লিখতে হবে, তারপরে আমাকে ইংরেজিতে লিখতে হবে। তার মানে আমরা সেই প্রায়োরিটি বেসিস কারিকুলাম কি আজও তৈরি করেছি? এটা করছে ন্যাশনাল এডুকেশন পলিসি বলছে মাদার টাং কে গুরুত্ব দিতে হবে। মাদার টাং নিয়ে যদি আমি কথা বলি, অনেকগুলো ক্যাটাগরি রয়েছে, অনেকগুলো রিজিওনাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ রয়েছে। যে রিজিওনাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ গুলো আজকে উত্তরবঙ্গে উর্দু ভাষা স্কুলে পড়ানো হয়, নেপালি ভাষা স্কুলে পড়ানো হয়, আজকে বাংলা ভাষা স্কুলে পড়ানো হয়, হিন্দিতে স্কুলে পড়ানো হয়, 4টা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ চলছে। আমার বিএড কলেজে যখন এই স্টুডেন্টরা আসবে, আমি কোন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে তাকে পিক আপ করবো? আমার এখান থেকে বিএড কলেজ থেকে যে ছেলেমেয়েরা, যে ছাত্রছাত্রী শিক্ষার্থীরা পড়ে গিয়ে স্কুলে পড়াবে, কোন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ পড়বে? এনইপি বলে দিচ্ছে মাল্টিলিঙ্গুয়াল জার্নি। আজকে মাতৃভাষার সংজ্ঞা কিন্তু পাল্টে গেছে। আগে বলতাম মাতৃভাষা হচ্ছে মায়ের ভাষা, সত্যি কি তাই? মাতৃভাষা কিন্তু মায়ের ভাষা, এই সংজ্ঞাটা কিন্তু পাল্টে গেছে। ইসলামপুরের একজন ভদ্রলোক আমেরিকায় থাকেন, তার মাতৃভাষা বাংলা, তার মিসেসের ভাষা হচ্ছে মান্দারিন চীন, তার মেয়ের ভাষা হচ্ছে ইংরেজি, তার মেয়েদের মাতৃভাষা কি হবে? তিনি আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলেন মাতৃভাষা কি হবে? শুধু মাতৃভাষার মানে হচ্ছে সব পরিবেশের ভাষা, যে পরিবেশে দাঁড়িয়ে ওই শিক্ষার্থীটি বড় হচ্ছে, দ্যাট ইজ তার মাদার টাং। মায়ের ভাষা, পিতার ভাষা, মাতৃভাষা নয়, সেই জায়গা থেকে সরে এসেছে। তাহলে আমাকে সেই শিক্ষার্থীটিকে সেই জায়গা থেকে পিক আপ করতে গেলে মাদার টাং থেকে জোর দিতে হবে, এবং সেটা কারিকুলামের মধ্যে আমাকে ফিট করতে হবে। আদারওয়াইজ এনইপিতে আমি ইমপ্লিমেন্টেশন করতে পারবো না। এবং আমরা বারবার বলেছি এই রিজিওনাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের প্রাইমার দরকার, এবং একটা বালুরঘাট থেকে শুরু করে গোটা উত্তরবঙ্গে সাদরি ভাষার একটা বড় বেল্ট রয়েছে। আপনারা জানেন কিনা জানি না, এই বালুরঘাট থেকে একজন ভদ্রলোক সাদরিতে গীতাঞ্জলি অনুবাদ করেছে, গীতের কালী নাম দিয়ে। এবং এই সাদরি ভাষাতে লিম্বু লেপচা পাহাড়ি এলাকার ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ গুলোতে পড়েছে, এবং এই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ গুলোকে কিভাবে পিক আপ করা যায়, এটি কিন্তু এনএপি একটা মস্ত বড় চ্যালেঞ্জ, এবং তার মতো করে কারিকুলাম তৈরি করা দরকার। 2 নম্বর আরেকটা বিষয় প্রকাশ করব, সেটা হচ্ছে আমরা এখন উত্তর দিনাজপুরে বসে আছি, দক্ষিণ দিনাজপুর, এটা বৃহত্তর দিনাজপুর বাংলা। আমার এই দিনাজপুরের কিন্তু একটা হেরিটেজ রয়েছে, আপনারা সকলেই জানেন। আমার এই দিনাজপুরের ঐতিহ্য হচ্ছে গুপ্ত আমলের, পাল আমলের, সেন আমলের একটা মস্ত বড় ঐতিহ্য। আমার এই দিনাজপুরে বাংলা রয়েছে, আমার এই দিনাজপুরে প্রতিবর্ষ রয়েছে, আমার দিনাজপুরের ত্রিপুরাকালী দেবীতে পিপাল রয়েছে, এবং এই ঐতিহ্য কিন্তু আরো উল্লেখযোগ্য। আজকে বাংলায় যে ইতিহাস পড়ানো হয়, সেই ইতিহাসের সূচনা কিন্তু দিনাজপুর থেকে, এবং যে ইতিহাস লেখা হয়েছে সেখানে একটা আধিপত্য কিন্তু কাজ করছে। আজকে জগদ্দল বৌদ্ধ মহাবিহার নালন্দার পাশাপাশি সেটা কিন্তু দিনাজপুরে অবস্থিত। আজকালকার যারা শিক্ষার্থী, যারা কারিকুলামের মধ্যে উঠে আসছে, তারা কতটুকু জানে আমার দেশকে, আমার মাটিকে, আমার ভারতবর্ষকে, আমার বাংলাকে? সেটাকে যদি আমি কারিকুলামের মধ্য দিয়ে আমার দেশীয় ঐতিহ্যকে যদি আমি আমার ইতিহাসকে যদি প্রতিস্থাপিত করতে না পারি, এনইপি কিন্তু সাকসেসফুল হবে না। সেজন্য এনইপির মধ্য দিয়ে যে কারিকুলাম ইন্ডাস্ট্রি তৈরি হচ্ছে, সেখানে কিন্তু লোকাল হিস্ট্রির উপরে জোর দেওয়া হচ্ছে। কিন্তু আমি তো দেখি যে আমার দিনাজপুরের যে প্রাচীন ঐতিহ্য, ইউনিভার্সিটি গুলোকে কতখানি অ্যাডাপ্ট করেছে। আমার গৌরবঙ্গের যে প্রাচীন ঐতিহ্য, যে গৌরবঙ্গে রাজা মহেশ, রাজা গণেশ থেকে শুরু করে পাল আমলের সুদীর্ঘ ইতিহাস রয়েছে, সেন আমলের সুদীর্ঘ ইতিহাস রয়েছে, বৌদ্ধ আমলের বেশ কিছু স্তূপ এখনো পাওয়া যাচ্ছে। এখনো যে সমস্ত মূর্তি আবিষ্কৃত হচ্ছে, তার একটা পোর্শন হচ্ছে পাল আমলের বৌদ্ধ সংস্কৃতি, আর একটা পোর্শন হচ্ছে পাল আমলের সেন যুগের হিন্দু কালচার, হিন্দু সিভিলাইজেশন। সেগুলোকে আমরা কিন্তু আমার কারিকুলামের মধ্যে আমি ফিট করতে পারিনি। এনইপির মধ্যে দিয়ে দেশীয় ঐতিহ্য, দেশীয় ঐতিহ্যকে আমার লোকাল হিস্ট্রিকে আমার কিন্তু ফিট করা দরকার। 3 নম্বর ইন্ডিজিনাস নলেজ সিস্টেমের কথা বলেছে। আপনারা জানেন তত্ত্বীয় উপনিষদে পঞ্চকোষের কথা বলা আছে এবং পঞ্চকোষের মধ্যে বলা আছে অন্নময় কোষ, প্রাণময় কোষ, মনোময় কোষ, জ্ঞানময় কোষ, আনন্দময় কোষ। হিউম্যান এক্সিস্টেন্সের কথা বলা হয়েছে এবং এই কোষ কিন্তু অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ইন্ডিজিনাস নলেজ সিস্টেম এবং ইন্ডিয়ান লিটারেচারের মধ্যে আছে। তার বাইরে আমাদের এই অঞ্চলে যে সংস্কৃতি রয়েছে তার মধ্যে কি ইন্ডিজিনাস নলেজ সিস্টেম নেই? যখন বৃষ্টি হয় না আমরা ব্যাঙের বিয়ে দিই, যখন বৃষ্টি হয় না তখন আমরা এই অঞ্চলে জলমানা দান করি, অনেকগুলো আচার বিচার পালন করি, কারণ ইকোলজিক্যাল ব্যালেন্সটাকে রক্ষা করতে হবে, নাহলে উষ্ণায়ন ঘটবে, উষ্ণায়ন ঘটলে মানুষের অস্তিত্ব বিপন্ন হবে। অসংখ্য দেবদেবী আছে উত্তর দক্ষিণ দিনাজপুরে, যে দেবদেবীগুলো পরিবেশকে ভারসাম্য রক্ষা করার জন্য আমরা পুজো করি। তার মধ্যে অনেকগুলো লোকাচার, লোকবিশ্বাস, লোক সংস্কার রয়েছে। কলোনিতে চলে যায় এবং কলোনির আশপাশে প্রচুর ভগ্ন মূর্তি, তারা বলে দেবদেব মন্দির ছিল, তাকে ঘিরে একটা লোকাল হিস্ট্রি আছে, বেশ কিছু রিচুয়ালস আছে। ওখানকার মহিলারা পুরুষেরা বৃষ্টি না হলে বেশ কিছু ব্রত পালন করে। ওরাও মুন্ডাদের মধ্যে প্রথা আছে, সংস্কার রয়েছে যে প্রতিদিন সকালবেলা উঠে বট গাছে জল দিতে হবে। ওটা আমি জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলাম কেন, যে গাছ যদি না বাঁচে আমি তো বাঁচতে পারবো না। যেখানে শাল গাছ থাকবে সেখানে সাঁওতাল কমিউনিটির লোক থাকবে। সুতরাং এই ইন্ডিজিনাস নলেজ সিস্টেম আমার ঘরের মধ্যে রয়েছে। এই নলেজ সিস্টেমকে রিসার্চ ওরিয়েন্টেড ওয়ার্কের মধ্যে দিয়ে আমি যদি এনইপিতে ফিট করতে পারি, সাকসেসফুল হবে আমার NEP-2020 এই যে প্রজেক্ট, এই যে একটা অভিপ্রায়, এই যে একটা জায়গা, সেটি কিন্তু খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ আমি মনে করি। সুতরাং গ্লোবালি, ইউনিভার্সালি আমরা অনেক কথা বলবো, কিন্তু আমার লোকাল থেকে আমি গ্লোবালে যাবো। আমার মাতৃভাষাকে প্রথম আমি মর্যাদা দেব, আমার দেশের ভাষাকে প্রথম মর্যাদা দেব। আমি আরেকটা প্রোগ্রামে বলেছিলাম, অনেক ছাত্রছাত্রী, যে সমস্ত ছাত্রছাত্রী আমার স্কুলে পড়াতে যায়, অনেক লোকাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কিন্তু রয়েছে। দেখবেন এই কুষ্মন্ডিতে দেখবেন নদীর এপার ওপার ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কিন্তু চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে। আপনি গাজর পেরিয়ে যাবেন, বড় এলাকায় ঢুকবেন, ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাচ্ছে। সুতরাং এই যে পেরিফেরিতে বিভিন্ন ধরনের ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ গুলো রয়েছে এবং প্রত্যেকটা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে কিন্তু ইন্ডিজিনাস নলেজ সিস্টেম রয়েছে। এই ইন্ডিজিনাস নলেজ সিস্টেমটাকে যদি আমরা রিসার্চ ওরিয়েন্টেড কাজের মধ্যে তুলে এনে ছাত্রছাত্রীদের মধ্যে সঞ্চারিত করতে পারি, তবে ভারতের একদিন জগৎ সভায় শ্রেষ্ঠ আসন লাভে। এবং আরো বলেছেন, মানুষের প্রতি বিশ্বাস হারানো পাপ, মানুষের প্রতি বিশ্বাস রাখতে হবে। আমাদের সামনে বিবেকানন্দ, আমাদের সামনে রবীন্দ্রনাথ, আমাদের সামনে অরবিন্দ ঘোষ, আমাদের সামনে একটা গ্লোরিয়াস হিস্ট্রি, যে হিস্ট্রি তার আমল দেখিয়ে দিয়েছে, সের আমলে দেখিয়ে দিয়েছে, গুরুত্ব আমলে হিস্ট্রি, সেই হিস্ট্রি কিন্তু আমাদের অন্য শিক্ষা দিয়েছে। এনইপি চেষ্টা করছে বিভিন্ন ভাবে কারিকুলামের মধ্য দিয়ে ভারতীয় সংস্কৃতিকে, ভারতীয়ত্বকে, এই ভারতীয়ত্ব আমাদের তারাশঙ্করের লেখায় বারবার উঠে এসেছে। ভারতবর্ষ কনসেপ্ট রবীন্দ্রনাথের লেখাতেও আছে, বিবেকানন্দের লেখাতেও পাবেন। এবং এই ভারতীয়ত্বকে যদি আজকের ছেলেমেয়েরা যদি না জানে, তাহলে তারাও কিন্তু শিকড় থেকে বিচ্ছিন্ন হয়। এই শিকড়ের প্রতি টানে, মাতৃভাষার প্রতি টানে, ভারতীয় ঐতিহ্যের প্রতি টানে, এই যে একটা রিকনস্ট্রাকশন, দ্যাট ইজ NEP-2020, সেইটাকে স্মরণে রেখে আমি মনে করি আগামী দিনে আমরা কারিকুলাম ঠিক করবো। আগামী দিনে আমরা আমাদের এইমস এর অবজেক্টকে হোলিস্টিক ডেভেলপমেন্টের জন্য, অলরাউন্ড ডেভেলপমেন্টের জন্য আমরা এগিয়ে যাব। তবে সাকসেসফুল হবে আজকের সেমিনার। সবশেষে যারা আমাকে ডেকেছেন বালুরঘাট B.Ed কলেজ, তাদের প্রতি কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাই। যারা এখানে উপস্থিত আছেন সকলের প্রতি শ্রদ্ধা, নমস্কার, ভালোবাসা জানিয়ে আমার বক্তব্য শেষ করছি।
Thank you so much, sir. You have definitely, sparkled the participants with your words. It was really remarkable. Thank you so much. Now, may I request you're very close to my heart, so it's my pleasure to request you with wholeheartedly, she's the next speaker, Dr. Sarita Dixit, Registrar of Mahatma Gandhi University, Meghalaya, India.
First of all, I would like to thank the organizer, Mr. Kumar Das, President of this college, and Principal Professor Bobby Mahanta, who invited me and given me this opportunity to be here in front of you. And I'm very happy to share this dais with all dignitaries like Professor Deepak Kumar Roy, Vice Chancellor, Raiganj University, Professor Devdutt Batra, Vice Chancellor, Dakhindinajpur University, Suman Chatterjee. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong. And Dr. Ashish Kumar Das. So I'm overwhelmed to share this dais with you all honorable dignitaries. Namaskar again to all of you. I'm coming here with few more insights regarding the inclusion of indigenous knowledge in this NEP. But right now, I'm feeling right here that there are few basic questions that have been arises from the dais and from the previous resource person. First of all, there are few questions have been raised by the sir. First is, at school level, NEP implemented or not right now? Right now, NEP is already implemented at the school level, but maybe in northeastern states it has been less remarkable and noted by the other people, and other schools have taken less initiative here. But in rest of the India, in rest of the part, and all CBSE board already has taken this kind of initiative to include NEP policy 2020 in their curriculum. And it is an integral part of this NEP policy. Second thing is, this NEP policy at school level, they also integrated some skill component also. That is called level 3, level 4, and afterward level 4, including 4, 5, 6, 7, that is the university and higher education part. But before that, if your student, your child is completing his or her education till 12, they will get the certification from the NSDC Council too, because too many colleges, too many schools have already had the tie-up and did the MOUs with the skill partner. Right now, there is one more thing is coming up, that is B.Ed course, that is the skill component. The best part that included by the policy implementer, the NEP policy 2020. These B.Ed courses totally based on the skill component, and that is based on the only basic thing, the inclusion of indigenous knowledge of each and every area. Because this is the only one, these are the courses who are catering the knowledge based on that particular region. Because we have very diverse culture, we have very diverse geography, very diverse territory. So, in view of those things, because all these cultural differences, all these linguistic differences, any kind of differences with our food, our culture, our dresses, anything, or it is related with our education. That is only related to with that particular region, and each region has its own positive and negative. So somehow it would be very difficult to include or to make information and knowledge from the rest of the part of the institution. So it's our responsibility as academicians to find out that local need through which the small initiative and skill components can be created, and through those initiatives we will reach out to those students of that particular area or that particular region or that particular state. Second question has been raised by the sir that how we are going to achieve this 50% GER, gross enrollment ratio. Second more important thing that is related with the NEP policy 2022, the imbibition of or implication of the MOOC courses and SWAYAM courses while we are implementing our NEP policy. Right now, few days back, because I'm registrar heading an academic position, so few days back I have received a letter from the UGC that each and every institution and every year student has to adopt a one MOOC course, because we know there are the challenges. We have less infrastructure, we have more than 150 crore population in all over India, and maximum population is residing in rural areas. So it's a challenge. It's not a challenge, it's a big challenge. Obviously it's a big challenge. So how we are going to meet up these kinds of 50% gross enrollment? So obviously this is, so government has this kind of notion in their mind. That's why they are developing these MOOC courses. But why I am telling this? Because I am the national coordinator of 3 MOOC courses at the undergraduate level. We all are academicians here, and you know well that we already implemented the NEP policy at undergraduate level. And few days back, again we received the second policy that is inculcated and based on the for the PG program. So already we have implemented the NEP policy at undergraduate level, and under those NEP policy which we are adopting at undergraduate level, we have to adopt one MOOC course that is free of cost, and you have to, but the students don't know about these things. As an academician, this is our responsibility to go through the SWAYAM portal, just identify those courses, what are the courses that have been offered by the SWAYAM in this semester only. If you are able to align your courses as per the NEP policy, so I think this is the best way to figure out the problem of this faculty challenges, the infrastructure challenges. Students can often read and learn anywhere, anytime on their own space. He is not to come to up now. Second point is, if a student is learning from the MOOC courses, how this credit transfer system has been coming. We are coming up with that because that academic bank credit portal it has been a different kind of issues. So I think we will discuss it in detail. But second thing is how we are going to achieve this 50% gross enrollment ratio. So this is the way how we can achieve this enrollment ratio because of these MOOC courses. Now, government and this NEP is showing that we can offer education in blended mode. Either it will be in offline mode, either it will be in online mode. The basic part is learning. Learning is important. It is not important that you have to again come and 75% attendance is mandatory. Learning is the important component. And second important component is that skill component. If a student is going to practice their skill component in that particular industry, then it will be there. Why these much of changes have been again and again invited from the government? Because right now our whole education, because we have gone through the history and the other background of the educational policies, that sir has already told that 3 policies have been come in our India, but right now in 21st century this is the first policy. This is with the maximum and major changes in our structural part of the education system. It has never been happened earlier in education system. But problem is this, somehow when we are bound to an education system, is our education system. Each and everybody is there. Why we are taking this education? This is a B.Ed college. Why is each and every student is here to take the teachers training courses and this B.Ed education? Just because of livelihood for the future. So that's why there are 8 councils that have been already implemented by the government, and these skill councils provide you the government certification at the level of certification, postgraduate certification, diploma and degree, and after that degree with the honor. The same kind of pattern that has been adopted by the NEP, the certificate, diploma, the degree, postgraduate diploma, degree and degree with honors or research degree. Second thing is, there is one more question is regarding the skill-based courses and skill-based courses. We have the opportunity or we have the things that we can create the courses as per our local needs and local demand. For example, I am giving you just a very small example. There is always, you are using broom at your home. Jhadu, yeah, I don't know what you are saying this in your language, but everyone is using that. In each and every household, from where it is coming from? From where? It is just a grass. Anywhere you can find it out, and I think the rural people may get it from the nearby of their areas and they use it. But it's a big industry right now. In all over India, you will get that simple broom in all over India in each and every household. So this is the skill component. How we are going to meet these kind of local needs, how we are going to identify these local things, and how we are going to take the benefit from this. So this is the thing, that's why again and again we are trying to focus upon the local needs and for the inculcation of these kind of skill components. This is nothing else. This is each and everything is around us. But why we are going to outside area? This is a nearby area. We just have to acknowledge this, what we have right now. We have to appreciate that those things. We have to follow or we have to identify such creative kind of things. Right now, third more thing, third point is also coming up with the thing, the language problem. Right now, UGC has created or taken too many initiatives that if this one new course have been prepared by any of the academicians, now what they are doing, they are converting or translating or preparing these MOOCs in each and every language. Just because of the fact, if any students coming from the Bengal, coming from the northeastern, any other region of the northeast, so they do not fight the language. They have to learn some skills. They have to learn from that skill, or that module will be helpful. Language should not be barred to learn anything. Right now, 6 months back, UGC noticed with the things that they are demanding, the local authorship. They are calling for the local authorship in different regional languages. Just because of the fact, because while we are studying the medical, the engineering courses, there are no such kind of books we are finding out in our local languages. We have to deal with or learn the things with the English books only. We only find out only in English. So right now there is a big kind of initiative taken by the UGC and the policy implementers who are trying to resolve these kind of all local issues that will definitely enhance the students' performance and their learning. Now, because time is less, now one more thing, the academic bank portal. Because sir is saying that academic bank portal, how we are going to deal with this and how these are the challenges people are facing and the academicians they are facing, how we are going to deal with this. This is nothing else. Because right now, if any college or any university already created the institutional ID, so I think he will get it know well how we are going to implement the academic bank portal. This is very simplistic. This is nothing else. This is the verification of the credits through that particular website. But the basic criteria is this. First, we have to register our institution. And in that institution repository, each and when students get registered through our institutional repository, then their credit, which we will upload on that particular portal, that will be automatically verified online. We have to nothing to do with this. I think each and everybody sitting on the dais, they all are from the academics and the administration too. So they know this very well, that when we are preparing our result, so somehow, because as the students are getting more and more, students are taking more and more admission in their institution, so in that condition, it would be very difficult to prepare the result manually. So we are preparing or using some software while preparing our result. So this is just like a platform where we have to do nothing. There are Excel formats, there are DD formats, there are certificate formats, there are proprietors formats, there are migration formats. Nothing we have to do with this. The basic thing is just institutional ID creation and the registration of students on that particular portal. So the person who is the in charge of result section, he has to just click a button just to transfer the credits. So it is so simple process. If any institution already did the registration, process is very simple. Because we already bound with some kind of structural things, that why somehow it would be very difficult to change the overall, in a day and overnight that change, how it is going to possible. But it is not tough enough. We can do it, and it is, trust me, it is very simple. It is very simple process. And how it is beneficial for the student? Because once your credit will be verified by the institution, students get the verification all over India from anywhere with that NAD ID. They have to register themselves on the NEP portal, DigiLocker. Through DigiLocker they have to register. This is very simple. When they raise the request, that has been already come to the institution depository, and the person who is the owner of that particular institutional repository, if he will say yes or click a just button, that process of verification and the credit transfer system has been done. And trust me, I've already did this whole process twice in 2 universities. So this is the simplest process. I think when we are going through those kind of things and the implementing procedural things, then we will got to know that how simple is this. And second thing is, yes, as per NEP, you have to what you did. As per NEP, when you are designing your syllabus, you have to include one MOOC course as offered by the SWAYAM courses. So this is the responsibility of teachers to how to include all these offline and online, and how we are running these courses in blended mode, and how we are going to add on all these MOOC courses as to less burden on the teachers too and on the students too. And from the institution side, these academic portal, the academic bank portal, through EMRC center. Through EMRC center, they can register themselves and they transfer their bank credit system through these EMRC center. Now what is these EMRC center? EMRC centers in all over India, they are catering all the administrative part, taking care of all the administrative part of these MOOC courses. So these are few things how we are going to do. At faculty part, they have to design their syllabus in that way that they have to inculcate the all MOOC courses and all. At students level, students have to get registered themselves on that academic academic bank portal through NED-ID, National Digital Locker, through National Digital Locker. And from the institutional part, this is the responsibility of institution that they have to create their national, their repository in which students get registered themselves for their ID. This is a very simple process, but you can only know when you get through that process. Otherwise, you won't be able, and we will discuss it again and again and again in different kind of. Because I am coming here with new kind of set. We have already implemented the NEP policy. Now, how we can reform all the other factors, including those things? How we can use the indigenous knowledge into our system? How we can create some new kind of new and different that pertains to that caters to the need of that particular local area, of that particular region. That courses we can develop. But after this, I think we are right now. This is the time to implement the NEP policy at the basic level. Then we will think about how we can use this indigenous knowledge that is catered by the teachers and by the institution too. But this NEP policy gives lots of opportunity and lots of comprehensive work that change the whole education system in India. One more thing is that now EMRC Center, afterwards, as these new courses and these online related courses have been offered by, implemented by each and every university and every colleges, might be these EMRC centers act as a parallel university system. Because once everyone is getting the credentials of credit transfer from the EMRC, so might be their workload has been increased, or might be government has to take another kind of initiative to faster transfer of these credit systems. So I think I'm testing my words here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, madam. If any question or any query on the implementing part you can ask, or if any kind of services or any kind of suggestions you need. So because I'm already implementing 2 times these kind of things, syllabus designing and the implementation and how we are going to transfer these credit systems. So always you are welcome. You can call me or my number and you can take it from the madam. So you can, I'm always there for your service. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your expertise. You know, you're already experienced, so your expertise speech was really captivating, and I believe that the participants, even us, we have gained a lot, and we will surely trouble you because there are many things that we are yet to, we have not implemented as yet, as Madam said. Once we implement, yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry, one more thing is there, because there are in university system, there are already too many council courses are there. So the NEP implementers also encroaching or contacting the councils to change in the how they are going to implement the NEP at the council courses. For example, pharmacy courses are there, BCI. So at university system or in any kind of system, because this is a affiliated college. So somehow in some institutions, people or administrators are not able to change or design their syllabus themselves. So NEP implementers already taken this initiative to contact those councils to change the syllabus and implement the NEP policy at that level. So might be in future all policy programs will get this kind of changes too. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your expertise, will surely benefit us, and it will, as I said, we will be troubling you. We are still in the baby stage. So once we implement, if we have something to know, we will surely trouble you. Thank you. Well, now it's time for break. Your lunch break time. It's up from now. And try to be here by 2:45.
Deepest respect about the dignitaries, the college authorities. So I am the part and parcel of that college authorities as I am closely associated with the inception of the college by the senior teachers. I'll seek just permission from Dr. Sarita that if I speak in Bengali, because I think communication will be created with the students. It's not for you, but it is for the students. So I'll start very briefly. I'll discuss some points. And reorganizing the things, but it's late. But what we already discussed about it, the valuable discussion we have what, the conflict, and but it's late, and for this money, aspirations, or we can politicize it by observation. First of all, I'll start with the negative note. My fear is, my apprehension is, this commission's future. I'm not talking about the recent political instability of our country. I'm keeping it in my mind the other all aspects. কেন হলো ছাত্রছাত্রীদের বলি যে যেভাবে কমিশনটা উঠে গেল, everyone mentioned about it, but they didn't mention the two things. In this century, that two other policies also brought them, but we didn't recognize them. One is by the Mukesh Ambani and the Kumar Mangalam Birla, and the second one is, you all know, the Justice Commission report also. It was actually a kind of commission. I have a great respect of that also. But it is after 36 years we got it in as this commission in this. Again, my fear is why the way we discussed all the senior speakers, অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ কথা। আমি যদি বলি যে aspects about it, I refer it self-test discussion also. There is very valuable points to mention about it and my experiences. কি কারণে কেন এরকম ক্লিয়ার করেছি? The confusion arises in a high stage. আমরা যারা কাজ করছি যেমন ভাবে দেখছি দেখেন, গত 6 মাসে, the last 6 months আমি 3টি বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়, all the private universities, one is Srinagar, second is Ashoka, and third is Jindal. In many connections I have been there, I talked with them, and then a seminar attended in Delhi IIT. এটা আমার এই জন্য হয়েছে যে এখন আমি পারিবারিক কারণে আমার নাতনিও ছোট, আমি এখন তাকে সঙ্গতার জন্য দিল্লিতে 6 মাস থাকি, এবং যেহেতু আমি পড়াশোনা করেছি B.Ed, যেহেতু আমার 50 বছরের ক্রেডিট সিস্টেম সম্বন্ধে একটা অভিজ্ঞতা আছে, then I have a great interest about it, but I don't have that kind of access to change any decision or can put my ideas put forward before them in that. যেটা মনে হয়েছে যার সবচেয়ে ভালো কাজ to cope up the situations and to how to find out a new adaptations of these courses. Sir already mentioned about it. একজন ভালো ছবি আঁকে, ছবি আঁকা একটা প্যাশন আছে, এখন সেটার উপর একটা 1200 hours per annum কোর্স করেছে বা করে নিয়ে সেটাকে অ্যাডাপ্ট করবে, সে আলটিমেটলি একাডেমিক সে ক্রেডিট এর মধ্যে নিয়ে আসবে। এই যে ওয়েটেজকে দেবে, কিভাবে অ্যাকাউন্ট করবে, এটা নিয়ে কোনো কিন্তু পরিষ্কার ধারণা উঠে আসবে না। আমার যেটা মনে হয় যে এটা অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ লুপহোলসের জায়গা থেকে গেছে। এখন এটা কারা ভালো করতে পারছে, যেগুলো মাল্টিডিসিপ্লিনারি এডুকেশনাল রিসার্চ ইউনিভার্সিটি মেরু, এই যেমন আশোকার কথা বলছি, এই যেমন আমি শিবনাথের কথা বলছি, এই যেমন আপনি প্রত্যেক দিন ডাক শুনতে পাচ্ছেন পারুল ইউনিভার্সিটি ফ্রম দ্য গুজরাট এভরিডে, Do you know the nature of the cost? একটা ছাত্রের ইকোনমিক্সে অনার্স করতে গেলে কত টাকা লাগে? 10 to 15 lakhs. 10 to 15 lakhs. 10 থেকে 15 লক্ষ টাকার যে ফিজ নেয় সেই সব ধারণার কথা ভাবতে পারে। And the flexibility কথা ভাবতে পারে। Ratio, student ratio already mentioned about it. Islam to college, it's not Islam to college. আমাদের শহরে যে দুটি বড় কলেজ রয়েছে, মালদা কলেজ, বোর্ড কলেজের প্রত্যেকেরই সামিয়ানা টাকা দেওয়া হয় ছাত্র বসানোর জন্য। আমরা তাদের সম্বন্ধে বলছি, আর তিনি তাদের জুড়িয়ে রেখে এটা বলছি যাদের সামনে কোনো চাকরি নেই, যাদের কোনো ভবিষ্যতে কথা বলতে পারছি না। আমরা এই সিস্টেমটা অ্যাটাক করলাম তাদের কাছ থেকে, না আমেরিকান এডুকেশন সিস্টেম। এবং উইথ অল ডিউ রেসপেক্ট about the American research laboratories, like universities, like Stanford to MIT, everything. American school education and the graduation, undergraduate and education is terribly bad. কারণ সেখানে এই ধরনের ইউনিভার্সিটি চলে। গুজরাটের প্রাইভেট ইউনিভার্সিটি গত 3 বছরে হয়েছে 90টা, 90 তার জন্য আমার মনে পড়ে দ্যাট ইজ exactly it is in between, I think 2022 or 24 এর মধ্যে অন্তত 60টা প্রাইভেট ইউনিভার্সিটি। আমার মনে পড়ে সেই কথাটা অ্যান্টনিও গ্রামসি যেটা বলে গেলেন 1937 সালে, 1936 সালে, যে আমরা তাদের জন্য চিঠি তৈরি করার জন্য একটা কথা আমরা শুনেছি, একটার পর কথা শুনছি, মানে ভেরি গুড ওয়ার্ডস। আমরা কি মানে যারা ট্র্যাডিশনাল ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল তৈরি করার জন্য বলছি? ইজ ইট সো? তাহলে কি আমাকে লিখতে হয় যে 1 কোটি টাকা মাইনে পেয়েছি আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটি, এই কথাটা কোথাও মিলছে? তারপর আমি বলছি আমার ইউনিভার্সিটি আসবে। আমি এটা একটা বিচ্ছিন্ন না, এটা ঘটনা, এটা অ্যাডামাস করছে, এটা বাদলু করছে, সব জায়গায় করছে। আচ্ছা, গ্রামসি বললেন যে না আমাদের একাডেমিক মানে এই ধরনের যে ট্র্যাডিশনাল ইন্টেলেকচুয়ালিটি হবে না, দরকার নেই। আমাদের দরকার যেটা মূলত যে উনি বলেন যে ওই 1937 সালে গ্রামসি বলে যাচ্ছেন অর্গানিক ইন্টেলেকচুয়ালস, যার সবটা যেটা ভিত্তি করে মাল্টিডিসিপ্লিনারি প্রস্তাব উঠে আসছে। কেন তাকে বুঝতে হবে, একজন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারকে বুঝতে হবে যে হোয়াট ইজ আওয়ার সোসাইটি, সেই সোসাইটিটি কিভাবে ফাংশন করে। এই যে গ্যাপটা কমানোর পর গ্রামসি বলে গেল, এগুলোকে সব ধুয়ে মুছে দিয়ে একাডেমিক বা ট্র্যাডিশনাল একাডেমিশিয়ান নেই, আমাদের গ্রামসির একাডেমিশিয়ান নেই, যেটা আমরা বললাম বারবার করে। তার বদলে যেটা তৈরি হলো, সত্যিকার আমার ইট মে সাউন্ডস ভেরি অড টু প্রডিউস সাম ব্যাচেলার। ব্যাচেলার মানে কি? এই কথাটা আমি শিখেছি। আমি দিন বছর 22-24 করমঙ্গল এক্সপ্রেসে আসছিলাম, আমার সামনে একটি ছেলে বসছিল, তাকে আমি জিজ্ঞেস করলাম কি করো? বললো আমি ব্যাচেলার। বললাম ব্যাচেলার অফিস? তো বললো আমি একজন আইআইটি, আমি খড়গপুর আইআইটি ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, কিন্তু আমি এখন পাম্পের মেশিনারি বিক্রি করি। তাই আমি ব্যাচেলার। 6টা থেকে আইআইটি থেকে 19টা আইআইটি হয়েছে। And you go through it, all the products of IITs are of bachelors. They are products of sales. কেউ কোম্পানি সেলস করছে, কেউ সফটওয়্যার সেলস করছে, কেউ মাল্টিমিডিয়া বিভিন্ন জায়গায় সেলস করছে। তো বলেছিলেন যে নেগেটিভনেস অফ ইট, অ্যাজ এ কনসিকুয়েন্স, অ্যাজ এ রেজাল্ট, আইজার ছাড়া, আমাদের দেশে আইজার ছাড়া মানে পারসুয়েশন অফ দ্য বেসিক সায়েন্সের কারো কোনো মাত্রা নেই। আইজার করছে বলি আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে ইয়াং সায়েন্টিস্টদের বেশিরভাগটাই এখন আইজার থেকে প্রাইভেটে চলে যাচ্ছে। তাই এই যদি আমার নেচার হয়, এই যদি আমার বেসিক অবজেক্টিভস হয় যে আমি ব্যাচেলার তৈরি করবো, তাহলে জানবেন যে প্রায় আমাদের যে ইউনিভার্সিটি, আমাদের দেশে এখন 460টা স্টেট ইউনিভার্সিটি এক্সিস্টিং আইডিয়াল 2024 এর মধ্যে, whereas around 500 হচ্ছে প্রাইভেট ইউনিভার্সিটি, and it is lips and bounds এর মধ্যে ঢুকে হচ্ছে সব। কেন হচ্ছে? যে আমি তো আমি যে রেভিনিউ যে আয় করছি, যে ফিজ নিচ্ছি, তাতে দিক আমি সব করতে পারি, আমি ক্যালকুলাম ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি করতে পারি, আমি আলাদা রাখতে পারি যেখান থেকে এই ক্রেডিট ট্রান্সফারের সমস্ত সিস্টেমটা অপারেট করতে পারবো। Keynote expression দেখেছি, they are receiving the huge fund. In spite of that, তাদের নিঃশ্বাস প্রশ্বাসে এখন অসুবিধা হচ্ছে, কারণ তাদেরকে তো বাঁচতে হবে যে কি পড়াবো, কাকে দেবো, কিভাবে সিলেক্ট করবো। অর্থাৎ এই সমস্যাগুলো থেকে গেছে। এটার সাথে আমাদের নলেজে যেটা মনে হয়েছে যে দীর্ঘদিন ধরে যে একাডেমিক যুক্ত থাকার ফলে যে 12-5 টাইম যেভাবে এগোতে চেয়েছিল, that is one of the best, I think, contribution it came up in this century. যেখান থেকে আমরা রুশা পেয়েছিলাম, যেখান থেকে আমরা করেছিলাম যে ফান্ড, ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচার এবং হিউম্যান রিসোর্সকে একসাথে ডেভেলপ করতে হবে। হ্যাঁ, সেটা ভালো। এনইপি অনেক ভালো জিনিসও আমরা অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট নেওয়ার জন্য বিকজ বিশেষ করে তার ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি, কারিকুলাম ট্রেনিং সমস্ত জায়গায়, কিন্তু আমাদের পা যেন মাটিতে থাকে, আমরা যেন রিয়েলিটিটা স্কিপ করি। রিফর্মস উইথ দ্য রিয়েলিটি আফটার দ্য দিকটা হোয়াট ইজ রিয়েলিটি, রিয়েলিটিতে এই চেঞ্জেসগুলো আছে মেনশন অ্যাবাউট দিস। এবং এই এর মধ্যেও যদি আমরা দেখি, সবচেয়ে বেশি যেটা এনকারেজ করবে উইদিন 3 to 4 hours হাই ড্রপ আউট গ্রেডস, মানে যারা 1 বছরের সার্টিফিকেট নিয়ে বেরিয়ে যাবে, সত্যি তো তাদের তো না থাকা না থাকে, তাদের একটা বিয়ে বাজারে কিছু যদি মানে অভিজ্ঞতা থেকে থাকে, কারণ এখন মানে ওমেন এম্পাওয়ারমেন্ট এমন ভাবে হয়েছে, যেটাকে আমি হাইলি অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করি, সেখানে ছেলেদের যদি কোনো যোগ্যতা থাকে, ওই সার্টিফিকেটের একটা দেখিয়ে হয়তো 1-2 লাখ টাকা ব্যাংক পাবে, আদারওয়াইজ আর কিছু তো পাবে। তাদেরকে আমরা এনকারেজ করছি যে এই সিস্টেমটা, এই হায়ার এডুকেশন ইজ নট ফর অল, ইট ইজ অনলি ফর এ। যেমন ভাবে এখন মেডিকেল এডুকেশনকে বলে দিয়েছে যে তোমার বাবার যদি 2 কোটি টাকা থাকে, তোমার যদি শক্তপোক্ত প্র্যাকটিশনার থাকে, তাহলে সেই করতে পারবে। তাহলে আমাদের হায়ার এডুকেশন সেই জন্যই সেদিকেই করছি। শনিপট, হরিয়ানার শনিপটে জিন্দাদের পাশে 4টে ইউনিভার্সিটি উঠে আছে। কি অদ্ভুত কথা! আমরা দেখছি অক্সফোর্ড কেমব্রিজকে তৈরি হতে আজ থেকে 350-400 বছর আগে, সেখানে বেসিক ক্রাইটেরিয়াটা ছিল। এই কথাটা বলে গেছিলেন আমাদের একজন মুখ্যমন্ত্রী জ্যোতিবাবুকে একটা প্রশ্ন করা হয়েছিল যে এত কম ইউনিভার্সিটি পশ্চিমবঙ্গ, এটা কথা বলেছিলেন, সেটা আমার শক্তিবাবুর হয়তো খেয়াল হবে, আমি আমার অনেক ইয়েতে বলি। উনি বলেছিলেন একটা বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় করতে হলে একটা ম্যাচিউর সোসাইটি লাগে, ম্যাচিউর সোসাইটি, সেটা সিভিক সোসাইটি আর যে ব্যাকআপ করে ইউনিভার্সিটি। আমি চাকরি থেকে নাম নাম্বার করে দিলে ওখানে ইউনিভার্সিটি হলো, এটা কিছু লাভ হয়। তেমনি এই যে একটা ইউনিভার্সিটি তৈরি হচ্ছে, এটা একটা ইন্ডিকেট করে, যেটা খুব সত্যি কথা বলে দেওয়া হয়েছে প্রথমেই এই বইয়েতে, যে ইট ইজ এ পাবলিক প্রপার্টি অফ পাবলিক এডুকেশন, ইজ এ পাবলিক প্রপার্টি। এটা 1994 সালে আমরা গ্লোবালি দেখলাম, আর ন্যাশনাল এডুকেশন পলিসিতে আমরা লিখিত বর্ণনা হিসেবে দেখলাম ইন আওয়ার ডকুমেন্ট। নাও ইট ইজ এ পাবলিক প্রপার্টি, এটা হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে এখন কি বলবো গেইনফুল একটা ইনভেস্টমেন্ট। আপনি যদি ইনভেস্ট করেন তাহলে সব প্রত্যেকে আছে, প্রত্যেকটা বিজনেস হাউস আছে। আগে শুধুমাত্র এই ফান্ড আসতো টাটা থেকে, বিল্ডার কাছে। বিল্ডার যখন বিটস তৈরি করেছিল পিরানি এবং রাঁচিতে, তাদের একাডেমিক যে কোয়ালিটি তারা ধরে দেখতে পেরেছে আজ পর্যন্ত, এগুলো কারো দায়িত্ব নেই। নোয়িং ফুললি দ্যাট হোল কম্পোনেন্টস অফ ইট। আমি মানে আমার খানিকটা সৌভাগ্য হয়েছে যে যেহেতুদের সাথে আমি কিছু কিছু দেখা সাক্ষাৎ করতে পারি, আলোচনা করতে পারি সিনিয়র টিচারদের সাথে, কার কোনো লিবার্টি নেই। প্রতাপ ভানু মেকার মতো ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল, প্রতাপ ভানু মেকার মতো ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল একটা আর্টিকেল লেখার জন্য তারপরের দিন রাত্রেবেলা একটা চাকরি দেয়। এই হচ্ছে আমাদের ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি, এই হচ্ছে লিবার্টি। অতএব এগুলো সব আমাদের মাথায় রেখে এর ভাবতে হবে যে আমরা কিভাবে যতটুকু ভালো দিক আছে এনইপি অনেক অনেক গুড কম্পোনেন্টস আর দেয়ার, ভেরি ভ্যালুয়েবল কম্পোনেন্টস, বাট উই হ্যাভ টু legitimize this, we have to rationalize it, and we have to think it in our own manner. তাহলে করতে পারবো ওইটা we can properly utilize the benefits of anything. Thank you very much.
Navakumar Das sir, the secretary, the chairperson and the president of this college. Other dignitaries, professors, Vice Chancellor of Dakhindinajpur University, Professor Rotobor Mitra, resource person Dr. Sarika Dikshit, Registrar Mahatma Gandhi University, Meghalaya, and the principal of this particular college, Dr. Bobby Mohanta. Other teachers present here, other my past colleagues who are here sitting in the audience, and my dear students. This is the last session of this particular one-day seminar. And when I was attending all these sessions, and first of all let me talk about my association from this particular college. I have been a staff here in the session 2009-10, and the college was established I think in the year 2004. So when the college was at the age of 5, at the age of a child who is of 5 years old, at that time I served in this particular college. That time M.Ed course was not here, B.Ed was there, and D.Ed was just started. So a few of my colleagues are still here. Indrajit Saha sir is there, Moha madam is there, Goswami sir is there, and many other non-teaching staffs. I may recall their name also, but many of these faces I know personally. The association from this particular college has been very pleasant always. After a long, around 14 years, more than 14 years, I am still associated with this college, doing different messages and different interactions. So different times we used to interact. Many times, Secretary sir has asked me also and offered me that you come again and join in this college, but there were different other circumstances were there that I could not come, and now I am serving in some other place. When I completed my M.Ed, and this was my first appointment here, and when I was doing my job, I did that NEP examination which was of the subjective system. I qualified JRF, and then I went back, I requested sir that I will be going for doing full-time research. Then maybe he was disappointed, but he told me that okay, go, because if you learn and study, then only you can help others. So that was the past, but still I can recall the different buildings here. This particular room, now you are sitting in AC rooms, but that time these facilities were not there. But still I can see the different essence which I have got earlier. Now coming to this particular seminar, just before this particular session, before this lunch break, I was discussing with the different dignitaries here, present here. We'll go to the second slide, sir. So I just told her, the madam was just beside me, I told her many of the points have been already discussed. So, and that is my attitude in my class also when I am teaching, that I don't want to repeat the things. I feel little bit discomfort if the same thing I will go on speaking. But again I thought that this will be a challenge also for me. That it will be a challenge that I should make my class interesting, that after listening the points again, you can find it in different what you can say, different blend. You can find it at different taste. So I will be trying in that way. Sir and madams were talking about different reforms in higher education, and I think earlier also some seminar was here related to NEP NEP-2020. Now it has been around 4 years. Different seminars are being organized throughout the country, different platforms, physically, in hybrid mode, in blended mode, different modes you can find different seminars. And nowadays the UGC is organizing in that Madan Mohan Malviya mission. There is one program, FDP program, where all the teachers can attend and have that awareness on NEP 2020. Many of the things you are quite aware of. NEP 2020, many of the things you are quite aware of. But still, let me talk about some practical parts. Some practical parts, sometimes we are going on thinking that whenever the vision of NEP 2020 is there, we are thinking about is it practically possible or not. But whenever an idea is being created, there are different challenges. Many challenges will be coming. And there are two different categories of people. Especially there are 3 different categories, but I will try to classify into two categories. One category is the category of critics, and the second category is the category of creative. So critics will be always there. Challenges will be always there. I can now also say that what have been talked about in 1986 policies, all of these particular recommendations still now it is not achieved. But I cannot say that many of the recommendations of NEP 1986 has been fulfilled. So in the similar fashion in NEP 2020, the framework is just giving you the vision. Everything will be not written in a concrete manner, otherwise it will become a booklet or a book of what you can see, National Curriculum Framework 2023, which is around 600 pages. You must have seen NCF 2005, which is around 100 pages. So it was a refined work. 100 pages easily you can understand, you can make meaning out of it, although there are different other focus group papers on different subjects. But if you can see the National Curriculum Framework 2023, around 600 pages are there. Still refined work has to be done. People seldom want to see that what is written there in the different pages. Until unless someone will summarize it, it will be difficult. Again, one challenge I can say that this all different policy changes has been done in a very short span of time. The time we started planning for national education policy, sir has already talked about different meetings, several meetings were there, and then we came up with draft policy in 2019. And one positive thing was there that there was the platform, that online platform was open for getting feedback from the stakeholders, from the teachers, from the students, parents, everyone can give their views, and thousands of views, thousands of comments, thousands of suggestions have been put in that particular online platform, and after considering that, NEP 2020 came. I'm just seeing the practical thing, why these things are happening, why you are questioning about and what actually come up with this new policy. 34 years. And when 2020 policy has come, National Education Policy 2020, only 4 years are there and we are questioning so much. And we are forgetting about the Corona period. 2 years of Corona period, where everything we have sidelined, every relaxation we have taken, and we are questioning doubtful about this thing. I'm talking about challenges are there. I cannot say challenges are not there, but solution is there. So we have to be creative. Critics is other thing, but try to be a creative entity in this particular situation. So, if you can see, I will talk about how it has been realized. Madam is already talking about these all things. First thing is that we are talking about this particular system has to be a particular full-fledged system starting from kindergarten, from 3+ years to PhD level. The whole system of education has to be made streamlined, irrespective of academic disciplines, irrespective of vocational discipline, irrespective of skill-based discipline. Every particular aspects of education has to be streamlined and has to be brought in national credit framework. And that particular thing has also come into existence. If you see in the September, I think September 2023, National Credit Framework has come out. I don't see many of the things. I can say that many of you are not aware of about this particular thing, particularly at the school stage. It has talked about that this credit system, just try to imagine, this credit system which is not being used in the universities till now, many universities, in Bihar also, in West Bengal also, we are talking about that credit system will be there in the school also. And practically, if you can say, the practice has been started. Madam was talking about that it has been started. We are not talking about only the, what you can say, the pen and paper, but if you go to Kendriya Vidyalaya, the Bal Vatikas has started. They started with piloting with 3+ years, then 4+ years. It has already been started. Similarly, if you go for this particular session, 2024, CBSE has asked different schools that you volunteer for implementing this 5+3+3+4 system. It is the volunteering stage which is not essential now. It has asked the schools that you volunteer, that you will come up for testing this particular project, and many of the schools have given their name so that from 2024 it can start in class 6, this credit system testing. So it is not that it has not been started, and yes, this is always there, that particular thing will start from particular specific, what you can say, more privileged places like Delhi, you can talk about Chennai, you can talk about Kolkata. But again, afterwards, some years, it can come into the local university, local level. That will take time, but it has already started. We cannot say that everything is in pen and pencil only. So National Credit Framework is one very nice document. The particular workshop can be organized to understand this National Credit Framework. That also not for 1 or 2 days, it will take around 1 week time so that you can understand what is that National Credit Framework. It has very nicely illustrated how the credits can be balanced. The whole year will be divided into certain number of credits. If you talk about credits, this particular in a year, 40 credits will be there. And semester system, 20 credits will be there. 15 hours of working for 1 credit in a semester. So accordingly you can calculate 1200 working hours in a session. So everything has been planned. If you are not active, if you are not reading, if you are not aware, and aimlessly we are saying that, oh, it is only in pen and pencil, nothing is being done. It is done. Time has been is very less. Only 4 years time, not even 4 years has completed. So, this particular National Credit Framework, if you try to understand, you can, I will just try to, because it is on higher education, I will focus on now higher education. This National Credit Framework is talking about that in the future, in all the universities, it has already started in the pioneer universities, in central universities, in JNU, Delhi University, IITs, already started. And you must have faced this thing, that every thing which we are talking about as paper, we commonly, the popular name is paper. Which paper you are studying, and a particular, what you can say, course, what course you are doing, and you will say that you are doing course B.Ed, we are doing course B.Ed. But in this credit framework, the nomenclature is, a paper is a course. And that particular course we are talking about is a program, which you can understand if you have gone through the new system. So in the new system, you can see that the courses we commonly say is called as program, and AP paper is called as sir was talking about, where the student will opt for, suppose the student will say that I will read history, and I will read physics, and I will read music. And if you go to that particular university, history specialized faculty is there, physics specialized faculty is there, music faculty is not there, and you will say that how I will read this one. You can go for the SWAYAM portals. You can go for OTL courses. You should know that already UGC starting from 2018, not before this NEP-2020, 2018, different online courses which are quite regular. Online means fully online. Being given by Balurghat Muslim University, Osmania University, Jamia Millia University, fully online courses, graduation courses, PG courses well recognized by UGC. So if you are staying in a remote area, suppose Sikkim, suppose Nagaland, suppose in other Andaman Nicobar, you go to this particular, suppose a student in Andaman Nicobar, and he wants to do MA in economics, he can go to the Balurghat Muslim University website, he can enroll himself, and sitting at his home, he can go for all the courses, assignment, theory, examination, everything is online. This is practical. I have observed many students have passed out. I know them personally. I am not talking in just a pen and paper I have read. I know the people. And you know what is Balurghat credibility of Balurghat Muslim University. It is a central university. Jamia Millia University. IGNOU is also offering OTL courses. So he can opt for, this music course, this particular music course which is having 4 credits, I will do from JNU if it is available there in their OTL mode. Entire program you don't have to do, different courses will be available. And suppose sometimes, let me talk about the beauty of this particular course. Many I am talking about that Jamia Millia is there, Delhi University is there, this JNU is there, and everybody is thinking about I will be studying from that particular university, Jamia, Delhi University. But the empowerment of teacher is also possible. Suppose you know particular teacher XYZ and he is very renowned. Maybe he is working in a state university, not so much well university, but because you know that particular person, he has designed that particular module, he has designed that particular program, then you will immediately go for that program from that particular university because you know that particular teacher. So teacher empowerment is also there. You know that this particular paper, this particular course is being offered by this particular sir, so I will do from here because I will learn better. My skill will be enhanced. I will share this presentation with you, afterwards you can get from madam. But I am trying to summarize the things, whatever has been there. You can go through, it is online also, it is available. Everything is available online nowadays. You should be aware of that. What is your digital presence? Now coming to the other part, I talked about how it is possible. Now, madam was talking about ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. Now, how many of you have got ABC ID? See, that one person. This is the practical thing I am talking about. One person has raised his hand. So you have to be practical. You should know that it is happening. Many a times you are thinking someone will do for us. ABC ID you can create in your mobile. That proper person is there that institution will go for registration, approval is required. But what is in our hand as a student, you have got DigiLocker account. Many of you. So you go in DigiLocker account. If it is a workshop session, I can make you do here only. You go to this DigiLocker account, there is one option ABC ID. You go for ABC ID, you select your institution. Now the question is of that particular institution. Now sometimes, if your institution is registered, that is quite possible. If that institution is not registered, then maybe your university is registered. You will find the university name there. You select your university, it will give you an ABC ID, Academic Bank of edit ID. So by DigiLocker, you can create. I am not doing any course. Let me give you one example. I have passed out PhD at I think in 2013. I have been awarded. So I have also got my ABC ID. So if you are doing some online courses, suppose given by SWAYAM, if you have filled up some SWAYAM portal, some SWAYAM course, in that SWAYAM course also you will ask for SWAYAM this ABC ID, and you can create, immediately you can create, and that is just like your Aadhaar number. It can be with you every time. Whenever you will furnish your detail in the future, you can just write your ABC ID. The employer, if you go for higher study, their particular administration can go online, see your every credibility, your degrees, your marks, everything from there. You don't have to take up these papers and other things. This is quite happening. If you are not aware, then it is our fault. We are having e-tickets, but still we want to bring it out. So going digital, in what you can say, looking backwards, government is saying that if everything is in your DigiLocker account, if you have got your what you can say, Aadhaar ID, PAN card, your passport, your vehicle insurance, you don't have to carry papers. But if you stand at the traffic and you doubt yourself, the traffic police will also hold you. But if you say that I am having it in my mobile, in my DigiLocker, he is not going to ask you anything. Seldom seeing it. Even he will not verify. Because he will understand that you are quite aware, digitally literate. You all are from digital native generation. All of you must be, I am talking about the student, many of the teachers also must be born after 1980. So the students who are born after 1980, they are digitally native. Your digital footprint should be there. Someone will search your name, so many things should be visible. Some slides there. Some papers on academia, some papers on ResearchGate. So this type of digital presence is essential. So UBC ID can be easily done, and you can do with your DigiLocker ID. Okay, you go to DigiLocker account, you can try, you can have it. And many a times students are quite afraid by using technology. They are not afraid of using WhatsApp and Facebook, Instagram. But if I say that you use SWAYAM, you use Diksha, you use Nistha, and you do this particular DigiLocker, then they are afraid something bad will happen, this option I will see, what will happen? Nothing will happen. No harm is there. Whatever things will be happen, that is a software problem that can be easily rectified. So you just explore the things, it can be done. Now I talked about this particular National Credit Framework, NEP-2020. Now, one more thing which is quite essential if you want to realize the dreams which have been set up in National Education Policy is use, and it has been stated there also, that use technology to the most. Technology can be the savior, and we have seen this during the time of pandemic. When pandemic was there, we were thinking that we will be locked in our room and nothing will be going on. But technology played a big vital role, both for the survival of education system and also for the survival of medical system. And we have seen many of the teachers, those who were very reluctant in using technology, they start using technology during this COVID period. Online classes were there, not only in private school but in the government school also. Teachers were taking classes. And now it has been, now that attitude has changed, that online classes cannot be done. This online platform, the use of technology has got multiple possibilities. A teacher has to be first creative. He should not try to find out problem. One switch in this particular room will not work, then I will say that you just put off all the AC because this AC is not running. This is a critical mind. But a creative mind will think about that you just maybe this particular 2-3 AC you can put off and you just try to use other things. So one negative thing you can just try to highlight and then you forget about the good things in the positive way. So technology has got multiple possibilities. You must be knowing, I will just talk about this most common thing, very common thing, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, all of you are now aware of. And many, what you can say, misconceptions are there that students will start using ChatGPT. What you can do as a teacher, you don't think students will use. Students are going to use. Now technology, if you are technologically sound as a teacher, you can catch them that it is their original production or they have created it using artificial intelligence. Let me give you one example. Suppose you are giving them to write an essay on what you can say, this particular college, and he has just give one essay in 10 lines or 20 lines or 100,000 words on Balurghat college and giving some more prompt and it will create one essay. Once he will come with that essay, you can ask certain questions to him. If you are a creative teacher, you can just ask some questions, some interview you can do, you can immediately catch. So you cannot say that ChatGPT is a wrong thing. It is a good thing. If you are creative, you can use it in multiple ways. Let me give you one example. Suppose here, how many persons are sitting here? I can guess it is around 200 or 200 plus. If I will ask ChatGPT that prepare a question paper, MCQ paper, having 10 questions each, that is 200 into 2000. Suppose 2000 unique question on NEP-2020. Okay, 2000 unique question on NEP-2020, so that I can test you all. It can immediately generate. Because it is a technology, it is not, it has got immense possibility. As a teacher, how many questions I can generate? If I have got only 2 minutes or 5 minutes, I can write, I have got human power. I can write 10, 20. But it can create 2000 unique questions. So malpractice I can stop. This 2000 questions, every person will having 10 different questions which is not being repeated. So it is a good practice. It is a good practice. As a technology power teacher, he can understand that how the technology can be used in proper positive way. Now ChatGPT we are knowing, but as a teacher we should know different other applications. Like Gamma app is there. If you go for Gamma app, you can create many PowerPoints within seconds. Okay, so different other applications, platforms are there where you can digitally create lesson plans, like NEP-2020 is there. So digitally you can have, suppose physically it is not possible to take classes of 50 or 100%, that 40:1 ratio is there, sir was talking about. But have you heard that what should be the ratio for online classes? There is no such foundations. ऐसा कोई फाउंडेशन नहीं है, there is no issue foundation नहीं. So you can have online classes. So you can have different university students doing particular course in music. One is from Delhi University, one is from Kolkata University, one is from JNU. At a particular platform, one teacher, maybe he is also not there, only one video is there. So where we are talking about teachers, I say that teachers are required, recruitment is required. But you cannot say that teachers will be not there, so it will be not there. Building will be not there, so I cannot do. We have to think about the possibilities. We should not find out the hurdle. Now let me compare different situations. Their systems is also responsible. Government universities, they have got different others. You go for the private universities, they are doing all these things very fast. Very fast they are doing. In government university, different other requiremements and bureaucracy challenges they are facing that they have to go through. That is other thing. Someone was talking about that we are going to invest 10% of GDP. That is a good point, very nice point, 10% GDP. And then only we can realize NEP-2020 has said that you have to invest 6% of GDP. 6% of GDP, then only you can realize the goal. Let me tell you that, again you just try to imagine this situation. Government is providing not 6% till now, it is providing 3.5 or 4% of GDP for education. And more than half of it is being used for salary of the teachers. Higher education I am talking about, salary of the teachers. And still, at the end of financial year, many of the funds are being returned back. They are being returned back. Then what we will do with 6%? What we will do with 10%? So if you are not able to utilize the money which government is giving, I am talking about government sector, then we are asking you want more money. I will give you an example. I have seen many universities, many central universities, in other state university also you must have seen. One university, I can name also, that Central University of South Bihar is there in Gaya. And one university is there, Central University of Jharkhand in Ranchi. Okay, two Central Universities there, and two Central Universities are there. Central University of Jharkhand was established quite earlier than Central University of South Bihar. But if you compare now both universities, South Bihar has gone much forward, much better than Central University of Jharkhand. What was the problem? Is the government not giving the fund? Government was giving the fund. Because both were Central University, but that leadership, that internal different other bureaucratic challenges, politics, different things were there. But South Bihar, some dynamic VC was there, some leadership was there. Within a short span of time, it has grown what you can say. It has got A+ or A++ accreditation. So that is also you have to think about. You should not always say that money is not coming. I am talking about some Central University, State University, yes, money is a problem. But whatever money we are getting, we should first utilize. We have to show that we are using it. Now utilizing the money, again the problem is there. If someone is utilizing, there will be question. So teachers, many of these stakeholders, they don't want to do those things because someone will question. But if you work, people will question. People will put you in question that the money has been misutilized. So these things are there. Now, one more thing I will talk about, what is practically happening. You are talking about establishing foreign higher education institution in India. Earlier this was not there, but now foreign higher education institution like you can say Oxford University or different MIT. So this particular university can open up their full-fledged campus in India. And it is in practice, it is now not in pen pencil. If you go to the portal higher education, foreign education at feci.ugc, you just open that portal, there is one what you can say link is there that you apply for opening of campus in India. And the criteria are there that in the world ranking it should be 50, below 50 ranking should be there in the top 50. Still, these things are there, and that possibility is also there. The first university which will come up in Delhi, in Chennai, in Kolkata. This thing will happen. But these foreign universities draft the rule regulation as talked about NEP-20, as NEP-2020 has talked about that opening of foreign university, and we'll talk about how it is possible. You can see the portal is working, and the institutions are applying. And you can see that the campuses are there in these particular places. Now, one more thing which I heard about that this language, it is talking about this national education policy is talking about offering education in different regional languages. For this also many things have been done. there is one website, Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti. If we go to that particular website, different initiatives are there. After the launch of NEP 2020, last year only, you can get Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti website, and there you can see different seminars are being organized at different levels in different university. That is called Bharatiya Bhasha Samagam in different center university. Recently in B.Ed, the Samagam was from Tamil Nadu. People from Tamil Nadu, different students, teachers, they came in B.Ed and then they have got this regional language exchange program. One application which has been recently launched is in the last of end of 2023, Anubadini. You can write it down, Anubadini. Here, if you go to that particular website, you will see that there is an option of uploading video from YouTube. You upload that video, that is the source video, and then their option is there that you output you want it in which language. And fortunately, Bengali language is also there. Bengali is there, Bodo is there, Assamese is there, Gujarati, many basic languages. I am not talking about all the local languages are available, but basic all languages are available. So you do upload YouTube, and it will be transformed into that other window will open where you can listen that video in your language. So that is also an initiative which has been done by on the basis of recommendations of NEP 2020. You cannot just don't say that nothing is being done. Challenges are there. One more thing, National Research Foundation. Sir was talking about, Madam also talked. National Research Foundation, you can directly go. There is one website that is called Anusandhan. Anusandhan National Research Foundation. You can apply for different types of funds there. So it is practically these things are available. Then there is that what you can say this multiple entry and exit option. Now when you are talking about Academic Bank of Credit, ABC, that ABC ID, let me talk about a little bit. This will be my last point because I am seeing time also. So the option of multiple entry and exit is an initiative to make the learning lifelong. Okay, suppose you have started your learning, you have done different courses, have completed suppose let me give, are you following semester system in this? Now what is the practice? Is this semester or yearly system? Semester system. Credit system?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Then let me ask you one question. What is the credit requirement for B.Ed course? Tell me. What is the minimum requirement? According to UGC I am talking about. And in the beginning of the class I already told you something about that. According to UGC, if in a year you should be having 40 credits. So in 2 years 80 credits. So it is the minimum. You can have more. You can have more. More is not a problem, but minimum is there. So that Academic Bank of Credit is talking about that if you are going for a UG degree and you completed 40 credits, you can pass out from that particular institution with a certificate in that particular program. If you complete 80 credits, you can go with a diploma with that particular program. And if you are going for 120 credits, then you can go with a degree, bachelor degree in that particular program. And if you are going for 4 years, 160 credits, then you can go for degree with research or degree with honors. Dual degree, different concepts are there. So in that way, if after 2 years you dropped out, you have completed 80 credits, Then you dropped out and you have got different other engagements. Suppose you have got some job or some other family issues or some different problem. After 5 years, if you want to come back, then that particular 80 credits will be there in your ABC ID. It will be deposited just like a bank account where you are depositing your money until unless you take it back, that will be your credit. So once you come back, you complete your 40 remaining credits, you can ask for your degree. If 120 credits will be completed, you can ask for your degree. Now one question, now I can recall. One question was there that if suppose a person is there, I cannot, many rules are there. I cannot say that every rule I can recall and tell you. But what I can recall, I can tell you. Suppose a particular course program you are doing, and you have done a particular course from this dakhindinajpur University, and some courses you like from Delhi University, you did that particular course from Delhi University. Some courses you liked at SWAYAM, you completed it on SWAYAM portal, and now you have got 120 credits in your ABC ID. Now, which particular university is going to give you degree? Who is going to give you degree? It is not that the particular experts, when they seek for this particular discussion, they are also talking in air. They have got plans. It is taking time, but a plan is there. And in pen paper it is available. It is being talked about that the credits, if you have at least 50 credits from where you have completed, that particular institution will give you certificate. You cannot say that 100 credits you complete from dakhindinajpur and 20 credits you can complete from Delhi University, and then you go to Delhi University and say, give me a degree. It will not give you. Rules are there. So according to the rules, they will provide you. You can go for dual measure. Suppose 160 credit and 20 more credits you complete, you can ask for physics and chemistry, dual measure. In that thing, I got to remember this particular thing which being discussed about ITEP program, Integrated Teacher Education Program. This will be my last point. Now, when we are talking about ITEP, this is also the practical thing I am talking about. What is being happening? So, those institutions, the guideline is there. Only multidisciplinary institutions can offer or go for ITEP. Government is now very much supportive for this ITEP program. So now it is very easy to get that particular course in your institution. Because if the government is also supporting, and we know that this government is still there, so here now it is very easy to get that particular course or that particular NOC from the NCT and particular university. Now it should be a multidisciplinary institution, first thing. And second thing is that there are several points for different courses. Suppose you are running two different MA in English, or suppose BA in English or BA in English. So two points is there for each particular course. For how many years you are running it? For that number of years also there is certain points. Okay, and your accreditation. Suppose you are A plus, now new accreditation has come, accredited and non-accredited, their marking system will change. So accordingly, you have to apply. Recently the date has been extended, now I think it is now not there. But what I am seeing practically in Bihar, where I am teaching in Patna St. Xavier's College, I have been seeing there that those institutions, those who are having these multidisciplinary courses, they have already applied in this particular session. I know about my college, I know about Patna Women's College, I know about St. Xavier's Ranchi, I don't know about St. Xavier's Kolkata, but they must have also applied because they have got multidisciplinary subjects. Those colleges, teacher education institutions, those who are not having any other course, they have been asked by the university, has also given suggestion that in this year you will start certain course, at least some humanities courses you can start. Next year you can apply. So this is the coming future. Many were saying that no, this will not be happening. This is going to happen. Either this government, that government, maybe the government will change. It will take some more time, because whatever teacher education program is running throughout the world, it is based on this particular system. IT it is very easy to understand. And let me tell you, I am a student of IT. I have completed my integrated B.Ed from Regional Institute of Education, because RI Bhubaneswar is offering this particular course from long back. So I know this particular course is how simple and how easy to understand. Otherwise, this particular DLED, then nursery teacher training, then B.Ed. Now in this ITP, you just get admission. National level examination is there already. The notification was there and people have applied. Different IITs are offering this course. Only good IIT they course start with IIT Kharagpur, IIT Bhubaneswar. They are asking for teachers to teach. So in this particular institution, the courses has been started, and there once you get admission within 1 or 2 years or second semester, you just have to decide that you want to be a teacher of foundation stage, you want to be a teacher of middle stage, you want to be a teacher of preparatory stage, or you want to be a teacher of secondary stage, and that will be your specialization. Once you complete that particular ITP program with dual measure, one will be your education, second will be your subject specialization, pedagogy. You will be a teacher teaching for that particular stage. So that is going to happen. I am not saying that if you have not done this one, which is now this particular 2-year period is in practice, that is not a problem, but in future that is going to come. So these were some few points. I just tried to summarize, try to make it little new things which has been not covered, because otherwise the repetitions will be there. If some questions you have, you can ask. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Myself, Nonita Mandul, faculty of Balurghat B.Ed College. So, you mentioned about Anubadani, right? So, is it a website where different types of materials are available?
No, in Anubadani, this language support is there. Other things supports are there, but basically it is for language support. It is a website, not application. Website. Different educational labs are also there. Maybe application will also come afterwards, but now it is on website. You can just type Anubadani and you can get the things. UGC and Anubadani you type, you will get it.
Oh, thank you.
Sir, I have one question. How myself, Dr. Sadiq Tiwari, faculty in NEP section, how someone can collaborate with National Research Foundation, sir?
Okay, National Research Foundation, okay, let me talk about this. These are very basic question, but let me tell you. If you go to the website, Anusandhan, everything takes time. You will get that now it is just maximum things are being promoted for teaching and funding in science education, science and mathematics. Later on, maybe this particular foundation will expand and we will go for humanities and other sectors also. But now it is for science stream and research in science stream. But other things will be coming, because it has been already written there that that will be the only funding agency. Forget about UGC, forget about ICSSR. That's why you can see that now UGC is not giving any projects. It has already stopped. So this is going to be in the future, you can see. Just visit website. You go for the website, madam, talking about indigenous Indian knowledge. So you go to for IKS, Indian Knowledge System, that one website is there. It is also giving fund for conducting research in local level. Some, suppose here in particular, this particular reason, some what you can say, indigenous knowledge is there. Something which is quite original from here. You can ask for that research here, and they will give you fund. And government is promoting that, so you can just website, you have to explore. You have to explore and see the things, possibilities.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for dealing with the application process. Now I call upon Professor Dr. Kalyan Khatri, sir, to give a summary of today's one-day national seminar. Please, sir. Saha, Satyapranam Vishwas, Pradeep Basu, and Ankit Khashnavish. Anik Khashnavish.
Thank you so much, ma'am. All of you had a day-long event, and I appreciate all of your efforts and contribution to make this session a success. Thank you all of the resource persons for attending the session and making it a successful one. Now I'd like to start with Professor Dr. Debabrata Mitra's session, and he spoke about NEP-2020's first educational policy that was in 21st century. And NEP-2020 is the third educational policy of India. Next, he mentioned there are some problems in the higher education system in India. That is, distinction and difference has come with the NEP-2020, which caters to the marginalized sections of society. He also mentioned about the trend of parents to send their children in group NIRF ranking institutions. By 2035, gross enrollment ratio have to increase up to 50% in higher education. That's it. I'd like you to come here. Shaptavarna Vishna.
First of all, I would like to thank all the resource persons present over here for attending the program and for sharing their valuable insights on the topic, the National Education Policy, NEP 2020, and their presence really made a difference in our program, and it's a positive one. Now, I would like to just discuss the points that are given by Professor Shaktipada Patra, the ex-principal of Malda Government Teachers Training College. He spoke about the holistic approach in the national education policy, that is to give equal amount of importance to academic, extracurricular and vocational activities at the same time, so that the students can have the access to each of the subjects, and so that the students are able to improve their skills based on their area of interest. And he also mentioned about all the three autonomies to be given to all the institutions, and these are academic, administration and financial autonomy. Now, the knowing dimension to doing dimension is to increase employability and real life applications is also spoken by him. That means to transform the theoretical knowledge to the experiential knowledge. And the national education policy is also focusing on the need of basic facilities, infrastructure and money and skills teachers. And he also talked about to facilitate the internship for experiential knowledge, to have a proper transparent education by providing or by having a proper transparent education system, and that's it. Now I would like to ask Anik Khashnavish to present the report. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to discuss the speech given by Professor Vikranjit Singh, Associate Professor, St. Xavier's College, Patna. Sir pointed out that NEP is providing an open platform for teachers, students and guardians. And after 34 years, new educational policies have been issued to evolve the betterment of higher education. It adopted a new academic structure in schools, that is 5+3+3+4 system. And we have to understand the national credit framework. In national credit framework, paper becomes course and the course becomes program. The money that we receive from the government to enhance our educational purpose, that returns back, which is very unfortunate. So I would like now call the Bharti Basu to conclude this report.
Very good afternoon, everyone. It's a very pleasant afternoon as we are having all the resource person in our college. Obviously, the directors of our college, the professor, and obviously my friends and all the students of our college. Today, we are all here for the National Education Policy 2020, and we have as much as 6 resource persons with us, and they all discuss all the positives, advantages, disadvantages of national education policies. I would like to discuss all the resource persons who have said all about the national education policy. Mr. Devabhanu Mitra sir has discussed about the NEP, and he considered which is the first educational policy of the 21st century and also the third educational policy of India. There are obviously some problems. He also discussed about the problems of NEP, which includes the marginalized section of the society. He also said about that the money and the funds which plays a very vital role in NEP as well. Now I would like to discuss what Deepak Kumar Roy sir, the Vice Chancellor of Brighton University, has said. He spoke about the flexibility and the CBCS system.
New education policy 2020 is undoubtedly a very important and target achieving policy of Government of India. The policy emphasizes, as it has already been elaborated by one of the research persons, that India needs to be a knowledge superpower in near future. Knowledge superpower stands for or pre-indicates economic superpower, political superpower, and even military superpower. The basic aim of new education policies 2020 has been designed, as we all know, to give a boost to the upgradation of the quality of education in India. The implementation of the various principles as has been enumerated in the new education policy is really very difficult to implement. The government has already formulated the policy, but government has given little scope in the 60 pages of its report how these aims and objectives of the new education policy to be achieved.
There are several obstacles or impediments to the implementation of the policy I suggested in the new education policy. And first of all, the problem of infrastructure, problem of students' population, problems of teachers' population, problems of unnecessary screw-tightening political and bureaucratic interference, and curtailing the independence of universities. It cannot be denied, or we cannot overlook this reality that achievement of quality education, higher quality education, which this policy had emphasized, is really a very tough job for a country like India, which is characterized by diversity of culture, linguistic diversities, ethnic diversities, multicultural diversities. But we can't forget that amid these diversities, there is unity in one word, that is India or Indian. Our honorable research persons have already pointed out that Indian curriculum for all levels of education need to be nativized and Indianized. Local needs, regional needs, national needs should be given top priority in constructing curriculum for all levels of education from school level to the university level. And this has come out from the detailed discussion of resource persons in the present seminar that was held today. And one thing that I want to say, that attainment of quality education will come out only when the institutions of education achieves the quality level, quality institutional level. Quality institutional level of an institution can alone be achieved if teachers are accordingly enhanced and empowered in terms of knowledge and skills. Teachers make an institution an institution of high quality. Institution cannot make the teachers of quality. So quality education that our society needs, that India needs, will come from teachers. Quality teacher can alone produce quality student, and quality student can alone make the nation a superpower in terms of knowledge. So, the implementation of new education policy 2020 contains a number of very innovative plans for future development of education in India, with the target to achieve the target of superpower in the field of knowledge. But we need to review, reassess a series of obstacles and hindrances that prevent our government, that prevent our universities from achieving the principles of the new education policy 2020. So, the seminars that our college, that Balurghat College organized today, pointing out the reforms as a new education, new higher education system that by NEP-2020 will send a very good message to the society to think anew how to overhaul the entire system of education that presently prevails in our country. So, today's seminar had indeed the thought, had given a new scope in our mind to rethink how to implement, how to materialize, how to give a practical set for the country, for India, for educational institutions, to the key principles, key objectives, key aims of new education policy 2020 in the field of higher education. So, the problems and obstacles, aims and objectives of new education policy 2020 need to be nationally reviewed again, reconsidered again, reassessed again, only to find a way how we can reach the target of the aims and objectives of our national education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Finally, we have come to the end of today's national seminar. But before that, we would like to hear a few words from Dr. Ashish Kumar Das, sir. He will also give the board of thanks. So his speech will be followed by the board of thanks. So may I request, sir, please.
Thank you everyone. And this is just the end moment of the today's seminar, which is very justified in this situation of education from India. Education is now becoming globalization. At this juncture, it is very needful to implement the National Education Policy 2020. Previously, there was another education, there are so many education policy, and in 1986, there was a National Education Policy, but due to some area of implementation, it had been revised in 1992. So if there is any problem, discussions are still going on. If there is any problem in implementing the Philip sides of National Education Policy 2020, if some portions of it can be revised and the government should forward, both the central government and state government should forward and come forward and allocate more money to the education sector to implement this education policy. It is a challenging task to us. And central government asked and requested the state government to enhance its financial aids from 3% to 6%. But it is not education is a federal system. So central government should forward come fast. Otherwise, without funding, it is not possible to implement as a whole this education policy. It is a good gesture, no doubt. But the previously other problems, there is also, there is a language problem. Some states already raised their objection about the implementation of Sanskrit in the lower level. It is mandatory to all. Some states are not accepting this. They are put their objection already. But everything can be sorted out with discussions, and I think today's seminar gives some light and new ideas to how to solve this problem, how to solve these difficulties or hindrances to implement this National Education Policy 2020 accurately and successfully, so that we can put forward ourselves and our education policy should be globally accepted. And I express my heartfelt thanks on behalf of Balurghat B.Ed College to the dignitaries, speakers, all the teachers and students and all the education lovers who come here and put their presence on behalf of Balurghat B.Ed College. This is the end of the session. I declare again, I express my thanks and gratitude to all of you. And that is our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Deepak Kumar Mitro, Dakhindinajpur University, Steve Devabrata Mitro, Dakhindinajpur University, Steve with us, and we are extremely happy with their presence. Once again, I express my thanks to you all. Thank you.